Yo, they just got some Iowa stuff. We're gonna check that out. Yo, live stream. What's up, guys? It's so hard to see who jumps in here, but we'll manage somehow. We got can I see the stats? Um, got some UFC results, UFC Fight Pass results. We got some updates with BJ Penn. We got some other stuff too. We got Worlds coming up. We got a lot going on. I just saw Rudis came out with some new gear, so let's check that out. Again, I'm not sponsored by Rudis. I'm sponsored by Inverted Gear. Uh, somehow, Inverted Gear, where are you? So, yeah, I'm always gonna push you guys to wear some Inverted Gear, but we can check out some other gear too. We can check out some other gear as well. So we got the Rudis. I just saw this, so we're just gonna look at it until people get into the chat. They just released this Bo Bassett collection, so shout out to Bo. He got that good sponsorship. He got that good sponsorship. So you guys know Bo's going to Iowa. He got $5 million to go to Iowa. So shoot, we ain't hating on him, man. We celebrating him. I mean, he's still in high school. Is he a junior or something? I think he's a junior or a senior. So he's making some good money, man. I can't hate on him. I can't hate. um, yeah. So we're just gonna look at this gear real fast. You guys like looking at the gear. As far as I know, nobody really covers gear in jiu-jitsu. Really, they might do a video, but they don't like keep up with like what's being dropped or any of the new stuff. So I'm happy to fill that need. So yeah, got the Bo Bassett apparel line looking pretty cool. Oh, you guys can't even see me. Da, 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 where am I? So let's check it out while we wait on some people to jump in the chat room here. So they got the Iowa shirt, $35. That's actually not bad. And I will say Rudis makes some good gear. All my I had some shoes from there. I need to get a new pair of shoes. I had some socks. I got two pairs of sweatpants that, man, everything's been in good condition. I think over a year I've had this gear, so I might need to get one of these shirts. That's pretty cool, and they make some high quality stuff. And anytime they do the zoom in, and you can see they got the double seam, they got the ribbed collar there. That means it's good. So Rudis actually put some work into their gear. Yeah, whenever they do the zoom in on the shirt, you can see the fit, not the fit, but the knitting and the fabric. That means it's good. So my apparel company's out there. You need to get in on that. Got the Hawkeyes. That looks pretty cool. I'm not sure. Am I a Hawkeyes fan? I don't know. I'm a Rutgers fan. I'm a Rutgers fan. That looks pretty cool. Kind of basic design. Hawkeyes on the front, Bassett on the back. I like that one. $35, a little pricey. I'm not gonna lie, a little pricey, guys. But again, that $35 shirt gonna last you a while. I got the fleece, cool fleece. That looks, man, this quality is good, bro. I'm looking at this stuff. Man, the quality looks good, guys. I don't know what else to say. Quana can jump on here. I don't think Quan's ever tried this brand. Quan, you need to try some Rudis, bro. Again, I'm going to push you guys to wear some inverted gear, but, this is good gear too. And whenever they do that zoom in like that, so you can see the fabric and the knitting, The seams and stuff, yeah, that's good. That's a good. That's a strong seam. It's gonna keep it structure. Man, that's good, guys. I ain't gonna lie. That's some good apparel. So Rudi's doing a good job with Bo Bassett. And again, he's in high school, so well, that's $80. Um, the Hawkeye stuff's not too bad. I'm more of a fan of the cool the crew neck here. But that's some good apparel, man. High schooler. I think he's in high school, and that's a sponsorship right there. That's a good sponsorship for him. So if you guys jumping in on the video, we're gonna be talking about Fight Pass today a little bit. We got some Craig Jones, we got some Fion, we got some other people on there. We got some BJ Penn. So we're gonna look at some of the results. This was the card. Can I make it so you guys can see? Let's see. This was the card. I'm gonna be honest. I was not really impressed with this card. Of course, David Davies versus Fornerino was good. Yeah, Canuto, Tackett, Fowler. Who was Fowler fighting? Who was Francisco Lowe fighting? Who was Alex? Who was Alex fighting? Who was Myra fighting? There should have been better fights on here. There should have been some better fights, some better matchups. Tacky was a good one, and of course, Fion versus Adele was good. They didn't market this thing. They didn't market it, and then they put it at a weird time not spot, but a time spot on Thursday. People got to work on Friday. They're training on Thursday night. This should have been on a Friday. This should have been more stacked card. This should have been marketed better. So, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Unfortunately, when they drop the ball, the athletes suffer. UFC, I think it's Claudia. She's in charge of this. She was in charge of this. I don't think she did a good job. And she can come for me if she wants to. She can come. I mean, pause on that. She can attack me if she wants to, but I don't think she did a good job. I barely knew that this was going on, and I like most of these athletes, and I was like, bro, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta do some other stuff. So we will try to catch some of these UFC guys. Like I'll get hit with copyright strikes and whatever. So we'll try to sneak in some of the results. Actually, we should come back to this. We'll wait for some more people to hit up the chat. So we just looked at Bo Bassett's new line at Rudis. If you guys don't know, Rudis is partnered up with UWW and USA Wrestling, so they make all the gear. And that's good, man. It's better than it's better than Nike. Can we find Nike wrestling? I think Nike just makes wrestling shoes. I don't think they do anything else. So Nike used to be the big brand in wrestling. They just make shoes. They are partnered with a couple athletes like Amit and some other people. As far as I know, they just make shoes. Can we find some other wrestling gear? They make some hoodies. They make shirts that just say wrestling. They make some okay shoes. I never had some Nike wrestling shoes. They look cool though. I don't know about the feel though. The fit. All right. So look at the difference. Look at the difference. This is all Nike. This is the wrestling line at Nike. Shoes, $150 shoes, wrestling shirt. Just says wrestling. Doesn't say no team. Just says wrestling, and it's the same design. Copy, print, copy, paste. And all right, let's go to Rudis. Who do you think's a bigger fan of wrestling? Who's let me zoom out a little bit. So back to Nike. Copy paste. Nike Wrestling. Okay, Nike Wrestling. No other variation of that. And then pop over the Rudis. Who do you think actually likes wrestling better? And is a better partner for wrestling, the sport of wrestling? I mean, clearly it's Rudis. I mean, there's a reason UWW, can you guys see up here? UWW and USAW, USA Wrestling partnered with these guys. You could do your custom team gear too. Shoot. I'm gonna push you guys always to do inverted gear, but I mean, if you could do some custom Rudis. Shoot, bro, you need to do that. You got some of the biggest wrestling schools in New Jersey over here. Bergen Catholic Wrestling, I believe they're in Jersey. St. Edward, I don't know where they are. Titan Mercury, where are those guys at? Yeah, I mean, man, it's not a competition, bro. There's no competition here. Which company is more in tune with wrestling? The copy paste Nike with 4 or 5 shoes, or Rudis? How many shoes Rudis got? They got wrestling. Yeah, well, let's just check out wrestling shoes. Man, these training shoes good, guys. I'm gonna say that for real. There's some good training shoes. All right. Who got more shoes? Who got more shoes? 2477. Who got more shoes? Who got more? I ain't saying I'm gonna wear every shoe. I like the white ones though. The JB Elites, those are nice though. They got some cool shoes, man, and they fit well. We didn't mean to start talking about apparel, guys. It just kind of started happening. That just goes back to being sincere. Nike's not sincere about wrestling. If they were, they would, they wouldn't have lost all their partnerships. They would actually make some gear that people want to wear. And I mentioned this earlier. When they ain't got the zoomed in pictures, that means the quality probably not going to be ultra great. But let's go back to the Bo Bassett line. That's what we just looked at a little bit ago. I click on the first thing I click on. They already zoomed in. Look at that. Look at them seams. Look at that collar. That's going to be a high quality t-shirt, guys. And $35 is expensive for a t-shirt. But you got to imagine you're going to be a Bo Bassett fan for at least 4 years. 4 years you're going to be a Bo Bassett fan. And during that period, my window's open. I got to turn that thing, put it down. And in that 4 years, you're going to be wearing that t-shirt a lot. You might be wearing this t-shirt for 20 years. So think about that when you buy it for $35. And the money going to support Bo Bassett, one of your favorite wrestlers. So hopefully jiu-jitsu community will do stuff like this. Maybe one day I'll get my own line with inverted gear. Now we got Devontae. I'm gonna push my window down, but I'll let him talk. You guys listen to what he's got to say.
Anything should be free, and jiu-jitsu especially. People come to my gym and they're like, "Oh, training's not free." I'm like, "Who the fuck?" I'm sorry. Who's supposed to pay for the bills? How do you think these lights stay on? You know what I mean? And it's never these people. And the people who always want to train for free, they require all of the work.
Yep.
They're mentally unstable.
Yep.
They're having panic attacks in the middle of the round, whether they're winning or losing. You know what I mean? They get sacrificed. Yeah, I saw that on the instructional. Yeah, I'm gonna be the next, whatever. And then if they're getting smashed, they're like, what's wrong with you? You, bro, keep it off the mat, man. Keep the ego off the mat. And I'm just like, you were just doing flying triangles like 2 rounds ago. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, these people are like the most like the wildest individuals. So like, if anyone asks me about like having to pay, immediately they're in like the very low, poor quality lead category.
Lead.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm
grabs
kind, yeah, you know, it's like an email, you know, sometimes you have to, sometimes, you know, yeah.
He drags it to the junk mail.
Drag it to the junk mail. But sometimes the junk mail, sometimes it'll surprise you. You'll be like, oh, this is actually good. Like,
Right,
I'll
you
bring
pull
you back
it
to
back
the inbox. You know what I mean? And sometimes just, dude, if you lead with, I thought this was free, or, you know, I don't want to pay. Trash lead. And then
Right in the trash.
you can redeem yourself. You can try to work your way out of there, but I got my eye on you.
But you got 30 days before
you know what I mean?
permanently
Like,
deleted.
yeah, I'm like, come on, like,
Oh, I messed up.
I don't understand why
I meant to
people
do
think everything should be free. And
a
jiu-jitsu
poll,
especially.
but I hit Q&A. Yeah, he's right, man. Anytime people start immediately talking about money, you know, someone's checking out your gym, they're like, "What's the pricing?" Right out the bat. I mean, either they ain't got the money, you know, and or they're just looking for actually usually even if they don't got money, they usually don't talk about that first. The people that ask about the pricing immediately and the cost, usually you're just looking for the cheapest training, which I understand. You know, sometimes can't afford everything. I always suggest you go for the best. Find the best training you can get, and then, you know, try to work out the pricing and stuff, the payment, whatever. But yeah, usually the people that are super vocal about the pricing, and then they the biggest headaches. So you know, it's good to send them to your if you got any academies you don't like, you send them to that academy. Hey man, it's not gonna work out here, but you know, check out Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu down the street. I think they're gonna be better. So that was Devontae. If you guys don't know Devontae, he's you know, well-known guy. I think he's won Nogi Worlds a couple times. He's beat Joseph Chin before in a close match. Can I not see the chat? Oh, yeah, he's beat Joseph Chin before, and he's good, man. You know, Unity black belt. Let me end this Q&A. I messed up. Let me do that again. Yeah, he's really good, and you know, he's probably seen a lot of crazy people. He lives in New Jersey. All right, we got a new poll up. If you guys want to answer the poll, if you guys checked out the Fight Pass, go ahead and answer on there. Somebody said facts. Easily, entirely too true. Spam. Devontae is going to catch so much flack for telling the truth. It's true, man. We got Gordon Ryan. We're going to get back to the Fight Pass, guys. I was just waiting for some more people to jump in. Waiting for that chat to pop off. So let's see what Gordon Ryan's got this, or hear what Gordon Ryan's got to say.
Learning a new move, and I put extra pressure on myself where if I know I'm going to fight a guy 3 months from now and I'm working on a new move, I'll make it a point in my head to say, I'm going to finish this guy with that move. So that does two things. It makes it exciting for the fans, which is like, you know, the persona part of it. But on the personal level, on the technical side of it, if I say, hey, I'm going to finish a mounted armbar on you, and I put this in my head, you know, 6 weeks before competition, and I'm like, I'm going to write this on an envelope. That's a lot of pressure. So now, you know, the next 6 weeks, like, I better get better at this mounted armbar. And so you go from being good at a move to being a master at a move. If I'm learning a new move, and
I mean, yeah, this is possible when you're huge. When you're smaller, you know, you're just like, hey, I'm probably not gonna get that mounted armbar. And you always notice Gordon picks the simplest technique. I mean, clearly he's really great. I don't know. You know, it's just marketing, and then the DVD comes out. You guys buy it. He makes $1 million. Yeah. He makes $1 million. Yo, what's up, Jason? He says, does your gym put their prices on their website? A lot of gyms don't want to tell you the price until you come in person. That is true. Well, I don't have a gym like that where I'm operating it. I think when I had a gym, we would just put the pricing on there, or we would have the offer. We would use the offer. Say 1 week free, 30 days free. You guys can ask about the pricing. Heck, you know what you should do nowadays, guys? Go on Google. Okay, how much does BJJ classes cost? Oh, all right. It goes $80 to $350 per month. All right, you kind of know. You should know going in. All right, I got $100 a month. I got $200 a month. Back in the day, Jason, that was the case. We didn't know the pricing. Some schools will put the pricing on the website. Some schools, you just call the school, you get the pricing. You'll see the drop in. You'll see the. Most schools gonna let you try. You should try the class out first, anyway. A lot of the people that lead with the cost, the pricing, they never gonna stay anyway. It's the people that, hey, can I try the class first? Can I see what is it like? What is it about? Yeah, I think you got to know your budget, but you need to see if you like the place first. So in that regard, I don't know. I've seen it from both situations, but usually the people that ask about the pricing right from the start, they never stick around for whatever reasons. Yeah, most schools, they want you to come in and try the class or contact them. Yeah, I'm not sure because it's a little bit different. I think it's not like a gym membership, like a Planet Fitness membership. All right, it's going to be the same. I'm getting the same experience everywhere. Because a lot of the programs, you don't know what the program's worth at all, really, until you get there and try it out. What's the difference between AOJ and Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu? Jason says a good school's going to be 200 and between 200 and 300 a month. Those are just the facts. You get what you pay for. But say you had AOJ and you got Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu, and say they don't have any social media. You don't know the difference. There's no social media. There's no pictures. You've done no research. You're only the only difference is that you go into the gym. You visit the school. All right, so where's AOJ at? We're going to pull up AOJ. Okay, so you didn't do any research. You're just yeah, you didn't do any research. You just popping into AOJ. You don't know anything. And you're going to pop in at Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu. So looking back over here, no website, no information. Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu, I'll use a school I know. Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu, they ain't got no water fountain. First off, they ain't got no water fountain, and there's no shower. Alrighty. Okay, all right, so you walk it in, you're just checking it out. The mats are kind of not the best in the world, so you're just, all right, from first impressions, are you going to pay $300 a month for that? Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu, they ain't got the full schedule. they got about 3 classes a week. Are you going to pay $300 for that? I'm wondering. Now come over here, AOJ. AOJ ain't got the prices either. So nobody's listed the prices. But you walk in, here's what you start seeing. You see concrete flooring, marble flooring. You see contemporary art. You see concrete boardroom. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu. No, AOJ. Gordon can't afford it. Gordon's school ain't looking like this. Yeah, even Gordon's school. Let's look at Gordon's school. I mean, that's not a fair comparison. Let me stick with Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu. You see concrete. You see glass. You see a glass boardroom in the gym. You see metals. You see well lit bathroom with concrete slab. It looks like your girlfriend's OBGYN. You see bathrooms. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bathrooms. You see lockers. How much? All right, are you gonna spend $100 for a? No, you gotta open up your wallet. You gotta. Here's my wallet. So I think pricing ultimately. I mean, we're not even talking about instruction. So there's so many factors. You got the facilities. You can't even see my finger. You got the facilities. I'm gonna make myself bigger. You got the facilities. You got the location. You got the instructors. There's so many factors that go into pricing. Let me see the mats. You want to see the mats? We haven't made it out the bathroom yet. You already know you're spending money. They got the backlit the mirror right there. You gotta spend some money. You got the museum. Look, they got the mats though. That mat space. They could have made that mat space bigger. How come everything big except for the mats? I assure you, you paying for that though. You got the concrete marble slab of seating. You know that uncomfortable. My back. No old person designed this. That's gonna hurt all the old people's backs. Yeah. So, this place is gonna. You already know this is a high end place. Looks like that guy's OBGYN. His girlfriend's OBGYN. You're gonna spend some money. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu. I don't even know. I don't want to find it. I don't want to pick out any schools nearby, but Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu with no bathroom. There's no bathroom. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu don't have no bathroom. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu ain't got no water fountain. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu ain't got no shower. Yeah, it's so hard to, the pricing is not cookie cutter because every school's going to be different. Every school's going to be like, you got to try the class out, bro. Even with the ranges $80 to $350 per month, you don't know until you get there. And it's hard for newer people. I mean, new people be getting scammed anyway. They're going to go to Gracie. But listen, a new person going to go to Gracie. They type in. It's what they do. They type in BJJ. I'm in. They do this BJJ. Who's on the? Yeah, this is my location. Actually, you guys can see. Who's nearby? Can you guys see it? They're gonna see. They just type in BJJ. They're gonna see who's closest to their house. Quan says the mat space looking sad compared to a lot of the rest of the gym. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Maybe they did that to make the classes look bigger. Well, I'm in New Jersey, so you see there's a lot more jiu-jitsu. And the school I train at, they're not even on here. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu ain't even on the they ain't even on they ain't even on Google. Where's my gym at? My gym's not even on Google, guys, so I can't talk too much crap. Yeah, so they're not even gonna find you only gonna find schools that are marketing, that are paying Google for, the listing and Google ads and Facebook ads. You're not even gonna find, just most schools are on here. Bro, my school not even on here. Yo, where's our school at? I don't even see it. I need to tell Evan. Evan, we not even on there. Jason says another part of choosing the gym that's right for you. So many just see 26-time world champion and say that's the gym for me. Is I'm not going to some crippled Kiwi named Danaher. Yeah, the issue is for newer people. They don't know anything. So like, say I didn't know anything. I'm in this area. I'm in New Jersey. I don't know anything. I mean, there's a ton of jiu-jitsu. So I think I'm gonna look for what's closest. You know, what's near my house. Okay, 2 miles away. I'm going to that school. Let's click on Bodega. So we actually know Bodega. You go to the website. I'm gonna see if they have a website. You know, it says I'm in a gym in a smallish Kentucky KY. Is Kentucky KY? Or is or Kansas City KY? Which one is it? Yeah, I'm gonna look and see. I'm gonna see if they have a website. Saying I don't know anything. I'm gonna look and see if they have a website. Where's the location? Is there any contact information? Okay, they got the location there. Can I contact them? Cool. What's the schedule? Oh, they got prices there. Oh, you gotta click. Kevon said nope. You gotta click and see what the prices are. Yeah, I don't think it might just be our industry. It's like car salesmen. They're not gonna let you just see the pricing typically. What did AOJ have their pricing up? Look, you got to call the day or something. Some schools will put the pricing up. I think I'll become a member. This is very Apple. Kentucky. All right. I've been to Kentucky, bro. Shout out to old Louisville Jiu-Jitsu. This is very Apple. Adults program. Oh, dang. They got the prices up, guys. You see it? You see the pricing? Can you guys see the pricing right there? Let me see if I can make it bigger for you. This thing is not working. Jesus Christ. I can't edit this? Well, let me scoot it over. Ours is $150 a month, all classes. Awesome. And boxing, wrestling. Oh, no jiu-jitsu. Well, that's not bad. For $150 for boxing and wrestling? That's kind of expensive, though. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but, you know, wrestling and boxing typically aren't the most expensive. Usually aren't the most expensive martial arts. I don't know if you guys can see the pricing, but they got their. Okay, you can see the pricing on here pretty much. I like that. Well, you go on AOJ, you should know you need to have some money. Yeah, don't walk in AOJ if you ain't got the money, guys. Can I move this thing over? Sorry, guys, I gotta edit. I'm trying to move this crap over. It's not working though. For some reason, it will not let me move it over. Oh, I know why. No, actually, I don't know why. What's going on? I can't move it for some reason. Jason says $315 a month in Cali is reasonable. Yeah. So for the year it's $3,465, which is, I guess you save $315, or you can do month to month for $315. Cancel anytime. So honestly, I mean, AOJ can do that they get 1 million people in every day. They get 1 million people every day. The mat is super small, so they don't have to worry about numbers really. What's the kids program? Kids $265 a month. Yeah, $265. So AOJ does put their pricing on here. Most schools aren't gonna do that. I don't think we have our pricing at Iron Horse. Does Iron Horse have their pricing? Let's see. I don't think I think you got to call Iron Horse Jiu-Jitsu. Got a free trial. There you go. Well, you can see the apparel. Yeah, I think you just got to contact. Yeah, you just got to contact. Yeah, you just got to contact. Yeah, most schools aren't going to put the pricing up. AOJ, the best school in the world, they can put their prices up. The issue if people just put their pricing up, most people going to the website probably not even ever gonna stop in, which is normal. And also you could say if you got a lot of competitors in your we also you gotta think the schools also have competition. So go back to New Jersey. Where's New Jersey at? Where's Jersey at? So we come back to this picture over here. All right, so you got a lot of competition here. If you put your pricing up here, your competitors, it's kind of like the gas station. Your competitors are they're gonna have a lot more information about your program than you probably want them to have. So they can, well, he's charging $150. Let's do $160. They can try to undercut you. I mean, hopefully you got a good program, you got good instructors. But say you Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu, nothing to separate you from the next gym across the street. You go 150. The next gym might go 140. People looking for people looking for the deal, they don't know the difference. They go to the other school. Now with the competition, you need to bring in some differentiation. You need to have more classes. You got to have more nogi. You need to have a judo program. You need to have a really good kids program. You need to have good instructors. But if you don't have that, there's nothing to differentiate you from the school across the street. You cooked. People are going to go to the other school. Joe says, yeah, I hear it's crazy expensive. I didn't say it was. I said just that is a lot. Well, Kentucky is a little bit different market. And for wrestling and boxing, that's kind of expensive for both of those sports. Joe says, is it better to have a huge school with 100 students and 10 instructors or 40 students and 6 instructors? I mean, you ain't gonna have a huge school with 100 students, and you don't need 10 instructors with 40 students or 6 instructors. It depends on what they're paying. If you got 440 people paying $315, you can maneuver the the factors. I'm always gonna scale towards the smaller school. It depends. Do you want a more successful school or you want a better school? If you want a good school, I would say 40 students. You can have a okay program. With just 40 students. Whereas 100 students and 10 instructors. Actually, is that 1 to 10? Joe says we have 20 on a good day, not counting kids. That's not bad. Again, Kentucky is not New Jersey. Kentucky is not. It's not Texas. Kentucky is not. It's not California. So in your part of town, that might be a decent number. Now, can you bump that up to 100? Okay, cool. But you got to remember, when the school is small, you got 20 people problem. You got a 20 person problem. But when you scale to 100, you're gonna have 100 people problems. I think everybody usually wants the huge school, but I think you can have a good smaller school. I don't know where I'm going with that. I don't know. I don't even know what we're talking about. Let's get back on topic, guys. I'd be jumping around. We got some Craig Jones. You guys love Craig Jones?
Still working on a co-main or some other, maybe a 4-man tournament.
Yesterday, Craig Jones posted this. In the caption says 100K women's divisions on the B Team credit card. In collaboration.
Jesus, that music. Why is she playing that music? So we talked about this yesterday. They're going to have the 10-woman, 4-woman tournament for 100K. Joe says, that's what I'm thinking is how big schools even manage people. How do they manage? They don't. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, yeah, the more people you have, the more instructors you need. Jason says, you can tell AOJ has confidence in their program because you can cancel anytime. That says a lot. Gracie Baja has you locked in even after death. Well, even Gracie Baja, can you find let's see. You definitely can't find the pricing at Gracie Baja. I mean, what Gracie Baja? And remember, Gracie Baja is franchised. They're franchised. They got Gracie Baja tournaments? What tournament was this? The Gracie Baja Summit. Oh, so they do I'm about to say cult meeting, but they do a big meeting, and I guess they had some matches. Tusa, what's up, Tusa? Yeah, they don't put the prices up here, obviously. Well, Grace, about to say, AOJ is not a franchise. They only have 2 schools that they control. I'm not sure exactly how they manage everybody. The big schools I've been a part of, they just they didn't manage people well. They just, you need management. So they had usually people running the front desk, kind of doing a lot of work. They would have an accountant. They would have the billing system. Yeah, they really relied on the front desk managers to interact with the clients, the students, and through the front desk management, they would, that's how you would go to the owners and talk to the owners if you have any issues. Schools don't really. Clearly you need a staff, so usually you're gonna have black belt staff running your kids program, your beginners, intermediate, advanced classes. So at minimum, that's like 4 or 5 people, and then you got assistants. Sometimes they pay the assistants, sometimes they don't pay the assistants. Instructors usually depends. They got them on a leash. It's not a hard business, guys. I don't know why people make it tough. It ain't hard. Have a website, get on Google, be on Google Apps, Google Ads, and Google Map. Have a shower, have a water fountain, have clean mats, decent facility, good instruction. It ain't easy. It's not hard. People make it harder. Cult vibes. Yeah, they got you in the cult and then you don't leave. They got your card forever. They got your wallet forever. Gracie Baja has tournaments where only Gracie Baja students can attend. It's not open to the public. Well, that's part of having the cult. You can't have people getting exposed at the cult. Yeah, I don't know how we got into that, guys. Talking about jiu-jitsu schools, we got Travis Stevens. So if you want some good judo and some good jiu-jitsu, go to Travis Stevens. Can't play that music. Here's Travis Stevens right here rolling. Travis Stevens pulled guard. He's a judo Olympian. He pulled guard. So yeah. I mean, having someone like Travis, that differentiates your program. Olympian, you know, the owner's an Olympian, silver medalist. You know, I'm sure they got a good facility. You know, they're gonna have the good Fuji mats. I mean, man, this shit ain't hard, man. People make it harder than it's supposed to be. This business, if you do it well, it should kind of, it doesn't run itself, but it should operate pretty easily. You know, it's not a major corporation. Listen, all you need is some mats. What kind of business? You don't need no special equipment. You don't need no factory. You just need some mats. What? How hard is this freaking business? You need some mats, a water fountain, a shower. You good to go. You just need a place to put the mats down. Why are they making this business hard? I mean, the marketing can be a little tough. Yeah, okay. It's hard to market. Them black belts just want to jade their rod. Thanks, Joe. Yeah. So there are good schools out here. So you know, if you see the program don't have the pricing listed, that's okay. Go check out the program, check out the vibe, see the location. You know, once you see the location, you'll know how much this program going to cost. You know. Now when there's a disconnect, when the program don't match the pricing, all right, don't stay there. If you go to Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu, they charge you $200. All right, you need to get out of there. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu the instructor ain't there. They got a lower belt covering the class. The lower belt covering the class. Mat's looking dingy and dusty. You don't pay that $200 at Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu, guys. Joe says, I'm scared it's going like karate. WWE came from catch wrestling. I mean, WWE is entertainment for sure. And catch wrestling's still around. They ain't do a good job at marketing. They let jiu-jitsu kind of come through. But yeah, jiu-jitsu is getting watered down, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know, the clientele is soft. I'm a boomer, guys. It's okay. I can say that. Yeah, the clients are soft, man. You know, you can't roll hard. They be getting on us for rolling hard. Can't roll too many rounds. Can only train 3 rounds. I don't know what else to say, bro. Jiu-jitsu's soft. I just worry about myself, man. I take care of myself and do what I need to do. It is harder for me seeing the development of jiu-jitsu. If a team doesn't have a decent women's team, I think it's a red flag. Yeah, I mean, again, most of these schools, they ain't got no shower. They ain't got no water fountain. I don't know what girl gonna train there, really. Yeah, so you gotta have some decent facilities to get a girl. I mean, yeah, to get a girl or get girls training. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with the sport. I try to do my best, but again, like I said, I'm a boomer. A lot of my views people don't hold. So it says, if you're doing eco training, do you really need a brown or black belt to teach? I mean, you don't need anybody to teach anymore. Do we need instructors anymore? We don't need instruction anymore. You can just learn on YouTube and through playing games ecologically. You don't even need to go to the gym. You just play at home. So I don't know what the future is going to be. It's changing. So we were looking at Fight Pass. I'm gonna try to look at some of the results, guys. You guys know UFC is not my biggest fan. They don't like me. They don't like anybody. So whenever we look at their content, we got some spoilers right there. Whenever we look at their content, they don't like that. You reach UNC status. Yep, I am UNC status. And I know that. I know my views are kind of old school, so I just let jiu-jitsu develop into what it's going to develop. It's basically B team, ecological. Uh, yeah, that's basically the future of jiu-jitsu right there. So we did have some results. We're not going to look at any of these videos. Can we look at the picture? UFC, can we look at the pictures? So just to spoil it, it looks like Fionn, she got the hand raised, showing off the lashes. Thank you, Fionn. So I don't know the results. I have not seen the matches. Says they need actual BJJ judges. Is that Shaolin? He's near my school. I don't know who the judges are. Worst decision I've seen in a long time. Thought I saw Miha at the judges booth. Well, he gave it to Rotulos against Levi at CJI, so it makes sense. People ain't never gonna be satisfied. Same people complaining about the matches. They the same people complaining about the pricing of the gym. Joe says Fionn is pretty, but she's. Well, you said that, bro. I'm not even gonna read that. I like Fionn. More submission attempts, not winning. Weird scoring. Did I have I actually had the scoring up somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Respectfully, this was a terrible decision. Fionn never got close to a pass or submission attempt. Both of them engaged in the guard pull, so there was no takedowns. Adele had the only submission attempts, and she had a really strong bite in the second round, I believe, where you could hear Davies' ankle pop. It was the most significant move of the match, which was a submission, which according to the judges' criteria is supposed to be the most significant factor. Adele has also more active with her half guard, working for things, while Fionn seemed a bit more frustrated trying to pass. If this was a RV, I don't know what that means. If this was, I would agree. I don't know what that means. But this is supposed to be using the new UFC Fight Pass invitational judging criteria, which to me, the victory is clearly Adele. He can't spell. Well, I mean, UFC didn't market this, so why do you think they were going to judge this well? Adele didn't get her guard pass once. That should be enough for the win. I don't know about that. She should have won because of her successful attacks. What do they say? You need to get the submission. Even at Fight to Win, it's who's more. Guys, this is entertainment. Who had more impact? I don't know who had more impact in the match. I didn't see the match. IBJF scores better than this, and that's saying a lot. If you're telling me the person who couldn't pass guard won, not the person who stopped all the guard pass attempts, well, I haven't seen the match, but imagine this happens at black belt. Say I force you to turtle a couple times. In IBJJF, that's advantages. IBJF if I got close to getting to a position, that means, I was doing a little bit more. I was being active, so I haven't seen the match. Maybe I can see it and not show it or something. She was on her back the entire time using a loop over knee shield. The attacks she had were initiated by Fionn. Literally, also who initiated the attacks? If Fionn's trying to pass and and then Adele, latches onto something, I don't know. I didn't see the match, so we need to see it. Literally, not a single one of her attacks were made from an offensive position, which means the credit should go to Fionn for making this role worth it. I keep seeing people say so many sub attempts. Is simply squeezing an ankle lock like a foot lock attempt or a catch now? Not one of those sub attempts were real. Just stop. I love Fionn, but Adele definitely won that. So some controversy. I love both fighters, but the scoring is atrocious. Lots of class from both of them. Of course, Fionn was going to say she lost, but also Adele not harping on the bad decision too long, making it about the event. Really competitive match. Adele had the only real sub attempt this whole match. Nothing against Fionn, but she was unable to pass or do anything from top. Bad decision. So again, I haven't seen the match. Can I pull this up? I'll try to hide it while messing around over here. I hope you guys having a good Friday, man. I've been live streaming every day this week. I've been doing a good job. Trying to stay more active on here. Hopefully I can grow this channel a little bit more, but no rush. Somebody said it's like jiu-jitsu. You want your channel to grow really fast and blow up, but it's like you got to go through it first, guys. You got to learn how the system works. You got to learn what your audience likes. You got to see what format works for you. The best things in life are kind of slow. So here's the rules, guys. We're going to go through the rules real quick. I think you guys can see it. Bro, I cannot. Man, I'm getting pissed off. I can't move nothing. Can't move jack on this thing. What is wrong with my screen? Okay, I got it. I'm messing around, guys. Give me 1 second. Crap doesn't want to work. Get over there. Get small. Jesus Christ, bro. I can't get it to work, guys. I'm sorry. Here you go. Boom. Can you guys see that? It's fighting me, guys. I'm trying to get it right. Technology's fighting me right now. Oh my God. Come on, man. What's wrong, man? Come on. Oh, let me. I can't move it. Quan says, I feel like a win or loss in this event, however controversial people think, it doesn't really matter. Wins and losses in jiu-jitsu aren't that big a deal to anyone except maybe Gordon Ryan. Some people care about their isn't that ego though? That's ego, kind of. I mean, everybody's got a little bit of an ego, but you see that with the Mendez brothers too. You're never going to see Hoffa Mendez post a loss. Have you guys ever seen Hoffa Mendez post himself losing or anything or talking about losing? It's his image. He can't even go back to jiu-jitsu because, I mean, obviously he's retired, but he can't even, I mean, he's younger than me. He can't even go back to jiu-jitsu because there's a chance he would lose. So, I mean, he's the same age as me, but I still go out there, I still be out there. Win or lose, I'm going to go out there. And, he's got more money than me. He's got a better school. He's got a wife and kids. So, obviously he's doing better than me. But, I got that over him. I'm still fighting at 36. I'm still out there fighting, man. Yeah, and even he's lost plenty of times in the past. Yeah, Gordon Ryan, well, his whole ego is centered around winning, so without winning, he's got nothing, unfortunately. He didn't develop as a person. And a lot of times, I'm going to blame you guys. You guys support these mofos, and then, they can just continue to live life. Everybody's always, everybody's always, just agreeing with them, never calling them out, supporting them, giving them $1 million every time they release a video. It's your guys' fault. Quan, it's not your fault, Quan, but the fanboys in jiu-jitsu support people like Gordon in their delusions. bro. I cannot move this thing over, bro. God, dog. I can't move it over. Anyway, let's look at the rules. Jason says this match with Ty versus Levi from CJI all over again. Cade or Ty? You mean Cade? Same thing, right? I gave to Ty and I gave this to Cade, and I gave this to Fionn for the same reason. Adele just chilled and hoped Fionn would get frustrated. Yeah, so again, guys, it's entertainment. Who's more entertaining? Was Levi more entertaining than Cade? I think not. Therefore, he didn't win the match. He didn't get the submission. He wasn't more entertaining. Listen, people don't understand submissions. They understand entertainment. They understand flipping and jumping. Is that jiu-jitsu? No, it's not jiu-jitsu, but it keeps people's attention. So let's look at the rules and scoring. Quan says, I'm a fanboy of you, Alec. Thanks for being such awesome jiu-jitsu. I got one fan. That's Quan. Thank you, Quan. I got one fan. I feel good. Thank you. That made my day, man. So let's look at the rules and scoring. It says each bout shall consist of 3 5-minute rounds accompanied by a 1-minute rest period. That's not too bad. Referee and judges. The referee is the sole arbiter of the bout and the only person who can designate officiating actions. The judges shall determine the winner of each round utilizing the scoring criteria and assign a point value to each athlete using the 10-point must scoring system. All right, 10-8, 10-9, blah, blah, blah. 10 points must be awarded to the winner of the round, and 9 points or less must be awarded to their opponent. So there was 3 rounds, and sounds like Fionn won the rounds. The judging criteria. The judges shall apply the following judgment criteria, ranked in order of highest value. Initiation of bout ending techniques. Effective submission attempts requiring meaningful defense. So in 3 rounds, they said Adele had a good ankle lock, so she won 1 round possibly. Okay, great. That 1 round, you win 1 round, you go to the next round. It's a blank slate, right? Second, so first part is the initiating of submissions first. Number 2 is action, initiation of action. All right. Effective execution of offensive techniques such as takedowns, passes, and sweeps. So because I haven't seen the match, but because Fionn was on top, initiating action, passing, and and so forth, that probably outweighed Adele's really great ankle lock attack that she had in 1 round. So if Fionn's pressuring in all 3 rounds trying to pass, initiating, Adele's on bottom. Adele does have more of a reactive guard. Knee shield. Even the over tie, the mirror lock she does is off the other person, going for the underhook. All right, duration of control, effective control of position and pace of the bout. Adele's on bottom, more reactive. Fionn's on top, pushing the pace. Fionn's winning on duration of control and action, while Adele might have had a couple bout ending techniques. So that's why she won. People get emotional. When you're judging, you got to take your emotions out of it. You got to look at the facts. And I don't care if you like Fionn or you like Adele. You got to look at the facts of the match. And, somebody going to lose. Somebody going to lose. You don't want to lose? You push the pace then. Adele, you push the pace next time. You go on top. You go for takedowns. You go for more submissions. Simple. That's it. I don't think Adele was complaining, but I'm just saying for you guys out there. We got Guy Mendez. I'm not the biggest fan of Guy Mendez as a coach. Come at me, Guy Mendez. Come at me. You're going to send Tynan after me. That's fine. I'm ready. Let's go. So let's see what he's got to say. Guy Mendez has said a lot of stuff I don't really like.
I think it opened 2012. So you've gone through this whole life cycle now of kids, students becoming adults and winning world titles. I know Jessica Khan won a couple years ago, and she started as a kid. But can you tell me how that trips you out? To be able to see the kids go from knowing nothing in jiu-jitsu and growing and evolving from your program and becoming world champion.
I think that this is the final goal for every school, right? To be able to have a program that helps every stage of the career of an athlete, or helps people to achieve their goals. And I feel like we started with a very strong kids team that evolved into juveniles, and then later on color belts, all the way to the black belt, and now we have the black belts are also coaching in the academy. So like you said, it's like the full circle, and I feel like we are just in the very beginning. I know it has been 12 years already, and I just feel that right now we are. I have help, I have people that grew up in the program, and they are at the top of the leadership, by my side, helping me to achieve all of these goals. And I'm sure that will continue to happen. You guys are gonna see every year the kids that we have winning Pan Kids, becoming the juveniles, the color belts, and eventually the biggest stars in the sport. So for me, the story of every individual is the most important thing. Is what I value the most. But of course, I'm very happy whenever I see the whole team doing well, and the team getting to the highest spot in the podiums too.
So AOJ, I think it opened 2012. So you've gone.
Yeah, shout out to AOJ. Even if I don't like Guy Mendez that much as a coach, I mean, he's a good coach. I mean, AOJ, undoubtedly one of the best programs in the world. They can charge to 315. You can't argue that. They can charge to 315. The facilities warrant it, the instruction warrants it, the training partners warrant it. So if you got a school, or you go to a school, you gotta be firing on all cylinders. You can't charge people 180, 200, 150. You can't even charge people 150 if you ain't got the facilities, you ain't got the coaching, you don't got the training. Unless you got a cult, then you can charge whatever you want. You got the cult, you can take all their money. So again, we got Worlds. Worlds is right now. Worlds is going on right now. I couldn't go. I don't have points. So.
Sabe, você lutou pena, lutou absoluto. Esse ano, como você se sente voltando pro Mundial?
Cara, tô muito feliz de estar mais uma vez na pirâmide, né? Sempre que a gente entra aqui é uma energia surreal, uma energia incrível. Então tô muito feliz de estar de volta aí. Sábado a gente tem 2 lutinhas aí, né, na categoria, então estou muito ansioso e cheio de vontade para ser campeão mais uma vez e em busca do tri.
O Mundial é um campeonato importante, e toda vez que você vem aqui tem aquela energia diferente. O que é diferente para você, que faz o Mundial tornar essa energia diferente, ter essa adrenalina toda, essa magia do Mundial?
Cara, eu acho que o que torna o Mundial tão incrível assim acho que é a pirâmide, né? Essa pirâmide que tem uma energia muito caótica, eu digo assim, né? Uma energia muito pesada, então acho que deixa o Mundial muito mais interessante assim, e claro que é o Mundial, né? Então a gente fica meio ansioso, nervoso um pouco de entrar aqui na pirâmide, e aquela ansiedade também se a gente vai performar bem ou se não vai, né? Então o que torna o Mundial muito mais gratificante.
So if you guys don't know, that's Mayram. He used to fight light feather, and then he went to featherweight, and then now he's at lightweight. So you guys might remember him because he did Absolute. He beat I think he beat Roberto and some other guys. He had a really great run last year. So keep your eyes out for him. Now we got Tom Hardy. You guys know Tom Hardy, famous actor / jiu-jitsu purple belt.
I was 40, so 7 years ago. And I trained to get big or small for film, but on my own. Very lonely, boring.
Yes.
And you just change, and it's not good for your body, and there's no people, there's no game, Yeah. And so I'd go to this, and there's a club at the end of my road, and the guys were all jiu-jitsu, and they have kickboxing and boxing, and I thought I'd try a bit, but I've always been a bit nervous of the fighting martial arts community because I thought, well, this is for them. For me, I don't think I belong. Come and have a go, and I did, and then they were really nice.
Yeah.
People are nice.
Yeah, people are nice.
And then I started to enjoy the community, and it gave me a level of confidence, honest confidence, because I always get beaten, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I kept turning up. It's really important. So you're never going to be the best. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But you can be better than you were by just coming. And there's nothing to be scared of. And then what I realized was that everybody there who I thought was scary weren't really different. Now it's more of a meditation or a relaxing. I have no competitive spirit.
Okay.
I don't need to win.
Playful.
Yeah. Because I think that with the work that I do it can be very competitive.
Yeah, and you don't want everything in your life to be so.
No, and I think it's good to start at the bottom and be shit at something. But if you keep going, you get better. Now, I don't know if I've got better, but I know when somebody new comes to the club, I know that I can make them feel a bit.
So that's Tom Hardy. You guys know him from Venom and Mad Max and God knows what else. So he's speaking about his experiences training jiu-jitsu. The first step through the door, then onto the mats is often the hardest. But what you will find once you do is priceless. So some people had this. Some people care about the prices. They're gonna check the prices, call every school. And they're gonna go to the cheapest Joe Schmo jiu-jitsu. And Joe Schmo ain't no real jiu-jitsu. It's fake jiu-jitsu basically, usually. But the people that really want to get into the sport, they'll try it out, walk in first and see what it's like. So you really need an inviting space. If your gym looks like trash, you can't get that 180, guys. You're not gonna get that 200. Okay, you ain't got no water fountain. You ain't got that shower. You better have some good instruction. All right, that instruction will go very far. Instruction will go very far. Yeah, the instruction can get you. I ain't saying you can charge 180, but you might be able to charge 150 and have a decent program. But once you got to make some investments as soon as you get that money. But if you ain't making improvements in your program, coach always late, ain't got no shower, no water fountain, man, you got some other issues on your hands. Great explanation to someone on the fence about training. But can we stop riding his nuts for being a famous blue belt? We celebrate our famous people. He seems like such a great guy. I have no competitive spirit. Last interview, he said his favorite submission was Mother's Milk because a win's a win. Truly love this dude. Recently got into BJJ myself and have to agree they are very welcoming and humble. But he did Warrior a long time ago. Didn't even think of trying it out then. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, he did Warrior. That wasn't him. Did he do Warrior? He might have done some MMA video, MMA movie or something. We don't know. We got Raymond Lemos. If you guys don't know Raymond Lemos, he's actually the guy behind Atos. Back when Atos was Andre Galvao and the Mendez Bros, Bruno Ferzato, Calasans.
Lemos at the 2025 Worlds. Ramon, you haven't been here since 2012. So tell me how it feels to be back in the pyramid at the World Championship.
This means that I work a lot, the last 9 years I was with, to be honest, from 2012, I was with Anderson Silva and with the UAE team. I was head coach there in the United Arab Emirates. And it was good, I like to be there, to train, to build a program, the students from zero, and doing that the UFC and the UAE. I cannot be here, I was not here with the guys. But now I changed to Saudi Arabia and I start travel around the world too, again, and I'm happy to be here again, to see a lot of guys, new face, some juvenile, some adult guys, they're gonna be our future. I'm happy.
So there's a lot of athletes here and competitors who you maybe coached a long time ago who now have their own gyms, their own students.
Right.
So is that kind of like a full circle moment for you? How does that feel to see all those I would say, seeds you planted, like coming to fruition now here at the World.
Yes, exactly. I feel like the fruit came, and they are my fruit. And I can see this one like the same history from, for example, from the old masters, that came from Carlos Gracie and opened their own gym. And one day they leave from their master and create their own team, And it's like this one. I can see that my students start to build their own team and show new players and build the jiu-jitsu and continue the history. I feel happy for this one, I can feel that I did a good job.
We're here with Professor Ramon Lemos at the 2025 World.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have Autos without this guy. Jason says, some people believe it's priceless, but for the most part, people find it difficult because they have not moved athletically for a decade, and now time to go invert it, buddy. It is tough. Most schools, a lot of schools don't do warm-ups anymore, so that kind of masks that weakness. But you need to have those movement skills. You need to be able to squat, to roll, backwards roll, forward, break fall, shrimp. Some schools, because they don't warm up, the students don't know that stuff, and they don't have an athletic foundation, and then that's gonna bite them later on. So I do like to warm up. I don't always do it just out of time, because when I first started, jiu-jitsu classes were longer, 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Now you guys only get 1 hour. Quan don't like to warm up. Quan gonna get hurt though. Quan's pretty athletic, but Quan, okay, take a 30-year-old person, they can't squat, they can't even touch their toes. Are they gonna be good at jiu-jitsu? No, they're gonna suck. And then they're gonna, oh, this is so hard. So that warm up is necessary. I know you guys hate it, but from my perspective, it's necessary. It builds that cardio conditioning. Some of you guys don't get no cardio. You need at least 30 minutes of cardio a day, guys. And if you're not running around doing a warm up, you ain't gonna get the cardio. Maybe rolling. But man, some of you guys rolling, you stuck in half guard. You stuck in mount, on bottom mount. You ain't doing no cardio. Especially the old dudes, they don't be moving. So it's important, I think, we get that conditioning down. I go to wrestling class, I go to judo class, they warm up. Jiu-jitsu, the only sport where people don't want to warm up. They don't want to shrimp. I don't want to do a push-up. I don't want to roll. And then they get jacked up when they training because they can't roll. They can't roll out of the move. They get in stacked. They can't roll out. Back all messed up. So that's one of those things where, like, I'll be like, Quan, we're gonna warm up, and then Quan will be like, I don't want to warm up. I'm like, Quan, we gotta warm up. So that's jiu-jitsu is a business, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you don't want to do this, but this is good for you. Yeah, Quan, do the warm up, Quan. Iron Horse, we've been doing more warm up because of Jer. But you got 1 hour class. It's so hard to do everything. I wish they would go back to longer classes, so you get some more rolling in, get some warm up in, get a little bit more technique in. That hour class go fast, bro. We've got Craig Jones over here. He says, this isn't just another event, it's a resistance. If we let them take over, the whole sport will turn into a monopoly. So this is another marketing tool. I'm not downplaying it, but another marketing. He's got the Naga sword, ADCC second place medal, a Gion. I don't know what's going on with Craig anymore. You guys, that's your hero. Monopoly, well, you could say, I was more so back in the day. You had IBJJF, you had ADCC. Now any dude with 100K can throw his own event. I mean, you could throw an event with $500. You don't really need that much money. Jiu-jitsu people fight for $2, bro. They like crackheads out here. Jiu-jitsu people be fighting for $5. They be exploding people's knees for $5 or for free actually. So we did talk about this. Craig Jones, he's putting the money on the girls. That's him kissing Gabby. Gabby's actually really nice. So again, 100K. He says 100K women's division prize on the B team credit card. And tag your 4 best women athletes. So I don't know who's going to be on there. Victoria Vortex, Akanda Savage. Might as well mail the check to B team. Girl, you think you're going to win that? Come on, girl. I like her, but she ain't fight the best girls yet. We got a few girls out here. We'll see what's going on. We got Jason Nolf over here. Jason, get back to wrestling, bro. Can't play that music. He's over here handing out the Jocko juice. Has anybody tried that Jocko juice? Jocko, what is that called? Jocko Fuel. Jocko juice. Yo! He should have named that Jocko juice. Jocko Fuel. It probably tastes like. Has anybody tried that? I mean, these guys no stranger to putting stuff in their bodies, weird stuff in their bodies. Jason Nelf, get back to wrestling, bro. Talking about Fionn and the super fight. This is her new gym, Arma Jiu-Jitsu in UK.
Jiu-Jitsu Club.
Can't play that music. So I was asking for some real footage. So these are renders. I'm hoping that the real footage comes out soon, though. I ain't seeing nothing I saw in that render yet. I see dudes in the worker outfits. Got Fionn, so she's going to be the head coach. Was that from ADXC? Yeah, I didn't see that match. So Fionn's going to be the head coach, and they're going to bring in guys like Tommy Langaker and Nia and some other famous people. So again, all I've seen is renders. I haven't seen anything yet. I see these cool renders. I assure you, it ain't going to look like that. That's like $1 million of renovations. Man, get the mats down. Put the mats down, Fionn. Jason says Fionn was not happy with Craig during her interview at Fight Pass. She said the only reason he did a girls' event was because of pressure from the community. Well, that's Craig. Craig is a slave. I like Craig. He's a slave to the jiu-jitsu community in their will. Craig's gonna say and do whatever it takes to make CJI successful, and whatever it takes to get the sponsors and the money flowing. So he's actually kind of sacrificing himself. He's jiu-jitsu savior. He's sacrificing himself. Well, what is Fionn? I like Fionn. Fionn, what have you done to make women's jiu-jitsu bigger? Did you raise $100,000? Did I raise $100,000? No, I didn't. So we can't be too harsh on Craig Jones, even though I like to throw some jabs at his way. He's put more money in the sport than most of these dudes, than most of these corporations. How he gets the money, I don't always agree with. How he markets, I don't always agree with. His actions, I don't always agree with. But he gets the results. We got to put over Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan because they get the results. That's just the way life is. They got the results. So while she might not be happy, he got the $100,000. Was he sincere about the $100,000? I don't know, but he caved to the pressure. Some other people would never cave to the pressure. IBJJF don't cave to nobody's pressure. Mo didn't really cave to no pressure till his big brother got on him. He didn't care till his big brother was like, bro, you got to step back. So it says, coming soon, Arma BJJ. Opening soon in Clapham. I don't know these UK names. Offering elite training, world-class coaching, and state-of-the-art facilities. All right, they can charge 300 euros. Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu, no bathroom, no shower. Mats are crazy. You can't charge 180. you can't charge 150. You can try to, but your program, I know your program ain't growing. It's a state-of-the-art facility led by none other than head coach Fion, one of the best grapplers in the world. Whether you're just starting your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey or you're a seasoned practitioner, Arma offers an unmatched environment to grow stronger physically and mentally. Yeah, I'm harsh on these instructors, these business owners, because I dealt with too many bad ones, bro. I'm traumatized, guys. You guys wonder why I don't coach as much as I used to, because I've been burnt by too many schools, burnt by too many associations, big associations, small associations. It's pretty bad out here, bro. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I want to see the actual finished product, but all I've seen is renders, man. I want to see some real. I want to see some something. Uh-oh. Hey, Carol. Carol, get out of there. Oh, I need to turn my notifications off. Carol, hit me up. Carol, your notification made it to the video. How do I turn this thing down? Facebook, bro. Facebook's freaking. Oh, can I do that up here? I'm trying to figure it out, guys. Do. Oh no, what happened? Carol, no, Carol. Oh shoot, I don't know who messaged me there. What happened to my post? Okay, there we go. I don't know how to turn notifications down, guys. This crap don't really want to work. There we go. There we go. Turn that notification on. I don't want any. Sorry, Carol. I'll message you in a little bit. So we got Jordan Burroughs. He made a really good post I wanted to pull up. And you guys know Jordan Burroughs, world champion, Olympic champion. One of the best wrestlers ever in the world. He says, I think you guys can see it, right? Can you guys see it? I'll switch to a bigger view. He says, if your youth wrestling coach is cursing at your athletes, you need to find a new room. Same thing in jiu-jitsu, probably. I just spent a few days at Oklahoma State, one of the most talented rooms in college wrestling. I didn't hear a single curse word delivered by leadership during practice. The best coaches in the world, country, coaching the best athletes in the country with the most on the line. Now ask yourself, if the best coaches aren't using that type of language with 20-year-olds, does it make sense to use it when addressing your 10-year-old sons and daughters? Negative energy is contagious, and so is the language. It's tough to build someone up while belittling them at the same time. If you want your kids to be empowered, allow them to be led by coaches in control of their own emotions. Treat your wrestlers with dignity, and you get the most from them. Foul language is no place in youth sports. You can be demanding without being degrading. JB, he a family man. I will say, JB, Oklahoma is different than New Jersey and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's different, man. That might be cultural. Not to say that they should be cursing. You shouldn't be cursing at kids or young adults. Sometimes you got to curse at the young adults, though. Let's be honest here, man. Sometimes these guys are shitheads. Now, you take that person, you had that one-on-one with them. You don't need to do that in front of everybody. Man, I cannot, for the life of me, move this freaking thing, bro. You guys can't see it, but I'm trying to move this thing, and I don't see my schedule. I ain't got nothing on that schedule. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu tournaments. I just can't move it over. Well, I'm not gonna read those comments. But yeah, you know, you gotta respect the students. You know, students gotta respect the coaches, the leadership, the ownership, but coaches also need to respect their people. Danny Chopper, what's up, bro? He says, Alec, just stopped by. Usually can't catch Friday. Getting ready for comps in Jersey. Yep. Might see you there, man. I need to register. So let's talk about a little bit about BJ Penn. We've been kind of beating him down a little bit, but you know, that's social media game right there. Former UFC champ BJ Penn charged with family abuse, slapped with restraining order. So we've covered this a lot. I just wanted to actually see a news article from Hawaii. It says former UFC lightweight and welterweight champion BJ Penn was arrested and charged twice in the past few days for abusing his 79-year-old mother. That's terrible. According to the Hawaii County Court documents, Hawaii Island police officers first responded to a reported domestic dispute at the home of Lorraine Shin on Sunday. When they arrived, Shin told them that Penn, her 46-year-old son, had taken her mail and shined a bright flashlight in her eyes when she asked for the mail to be returned. As Shin tried to move the flashlight, not Penn, Shin is the mom, Penn grabbed her arms and shoved her against a vehicle, causing back pain, according to court documents. The mom is 79 years old. You shove a 79-year-old person, a woman, they got osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, whatever they got. They can't take that. That might break the old lady. So she's suffering back pain. She's 79 years old. Man, come on. There ain't no reason in the world to shove a 79-year-old person, let alone your mom. Penn was arrested and charged with abuse of family and household member. He was taken into East Hawaii Detention Facility in Helio. Is that how you say it? Hilo or Helio? I don't know how to say it. For the booking and identification process. He later posted $2,000 bail and was released. Penn posted a video of his arrest on social media. So he got arrested one time, and that's the video we saw the second time he got arrested. Upon Penn's release, police say a 48-hour warning citation was issued. So I believe Penn lives with his mom, or his mom lives with him. He was supposed to stay away for 48 hours, but he didn't abide by that. Where he was not to have contact with Shin, his mother. Penn allegedly violated that warning citation the following day when Shin told police he returned to her home in the morning. Court documents said Penn left the residence before police arrived, but a short time later, maybe they didn't live together. I thought they lived together, but I could be wrong. Penn left the residence. Okay, I think they did live together, but he left. He left the residence before police arrived, but a short time later at 9:30, he was located nearby and arrested and charged again with abuse of a family or household member. Okay, I'm a little cloudy on if he was at the same house and he left, he came back. I don't understand that, really. He again was transported to the East Hawaii Detention Facility. On Tuesday, the family court in Helio conducted a hearing in the case where Penn wasn't present. Hawaii County prosecuting attorney said that so she's the prosecuting attorney said he wasn't present, and they filed a motion for revocation of release on bail. Shin filed a temporary restraining order against her son in the Third Circuit Family Court on Tuesday for what she described as extremely psychological abuse. According to court documents, Penn's mother states that Penn accused her of killing his family and taking over his mother's identity, and he wants me to be removed from his home. Shin thinks Penn is suffering from Capgras delusional syndrome, a psychiatric disorder in which a person holds a delusion that a friend, spouse, parent, or other close family member has been replaced by an identical imposter. He believes I'm an imposter who has killed his family to gain control of the family assets, Shin stated in the order. Penn, considered one of the best lightweight mixed martial arts fighters of all time, last fought in 2019, ending his legendary career with 7 straight losses. He recently claimed online that multiple members of his family are missing and accused unnamed imposters of replacing those family members to steal his inheritance. He publicly asked the Hilo Police Department last month to investigate their murders. In an Instagram post, April 8th, Penn wrote, "If I harm any of these people that are acting like my mom or my brothers, I go to jail and lose everything. If they harm me, nothing will happen to them and I lose everything. I have my black belts over the years that are police officers. Are you guys going to help me? Are we going to help my brothers and my mother and to look for them and investigate these fake frauds who are trying to steal everything from my family?" So that's pretty sad. Yeah, that's pretty sad. We've been covering this, so hopefully I don't want it to get worse. That's pretty bad, man. There's a downside to all these sports, all this MMA. You guys got to be careful if you got any friends or family. Quan got some family fighting MMA. Just keep your eyes on them. Because you might be in the same situation one day, unfortunately. So just be smart. Tell them to be smart. We got Robert Drysdale. I'm getting a little tired. We'll probably go for about 30 more minutes until I get tired. Robert Drysdale's blast CGI for BJJ shift towards spectacle. Where does it end? Midget wrestling? No, that's on the next one. CGI 3. You actually got some there's some little people grapplers out there that are really good. And there's one guy I see at like ADCC Opens. ADCC champion. Yeah, he's ADCC absolute champion. And 5th degree black belt Robert Drysdale has voiced serious concerns about the current state of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, taking aim at what he sees as its growing obsession with entertainment. So, Nelson, what's up, Nelly? Yeah, Drysdale. I mean, Jiu-Jitsu is entertainment now, man. That's the name of the game, guys. Entertainment. Craig Jones. Nelly. I mean, I don't know. We were talking about Fionn earlier. She was kind of upset at Craig Jones, but I mean, he got $100,000 in the sport for the girls. 4-girl bracket, $100,000. That's not bad. I had to ask her and others, what have you guys done? Have you guys put up money? Have you guys raised funds? To that degree? I need to come visit. Yeah, man. We got Big Rob coming through. Yep. So entertainment. I mean, that's the name of the game nowadays. You think about getting eyeballs. Even something like sales. Sales. You gotta get people looking. You gotta get people interested. So that's something Craig Jones has mastered. He got you guys talking about it. He got me talking about it too. So, now is it good for long-term sales? I can't say that, but for short-term, you got to blow up an event. His marketing works. In a recent interview, Drysdale didn't hold back, and one match in particular drew his nerves. The exhibition match between Craig Jones and Gabby Garcia. Shout out to Gabby. I mean, Gabby, she got paid, bro. She got paid. That's what she wanted. She signed up for that. Drysdale used it as a symbol of what he believes is a worrying trajectory for BJJ. We saw Craig wrestle Gabby Garcia. I mean, why? Where does it end? Midgets wrestling in the mud? Midgets wrestling on the moon? When does it stop? I mean, I wish Jiu-Jitsu could be more professional. You got PGF trying to do more professional. Um, you got the people in the Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia. They're doing their thing. IBJJF doing their thing. So I mean, there's an event for everybody. If you want crazy, you go to ADCC. You want marketing, and you go to CJI. You want prestige, you go to IBJJF. You want money, I don't know where you go. I don't know where you go if you want money. You got to go to CGI if you want money. Yeah. So there's different like productions for whatever you want. I mean, he doesn't have to watch. What is it? What is that? I mean, I guess we all think we have a voice. I think I have a voice too. Sometimes I don't have a voice. But he doesn't have to. You don't have to watch Craig Jones. You can unfollow him. You don't have to go to CJI. You don't need to watch CJI. You could just ignore it. That's true. He says, once you give someone a dose of any kind of drug, you can't go back and give them a smaller dose the next round. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be a bigger one and a bigger one. And where does it end? Well, we know where it ended for Catch Wrestling, WWE. Well, you can't blame Catch Wrestling. I mean, WWE is for entertainment. Catch Wrestling, I mean, to be honest, Catch Wrestling should have been way more popular. Why didn't Catch Wrestling blow up? Especially during the 90s when wrestling, WWE, WWF were super huge. Catch Wrestling should have got popular. They didn't. It's their fault for not capitalizing on that. They should have partnered up with WWE, and they should have had schools everywhere. There should have been Catch Wrestling schools everywhere. Instead, they kind of let jiu-jitsu kind of come through. And jiu-jitsu did the same thing. We had the first UFC was basically marketing. And then what happened after that? Jiu-jitsu schools started popping up. People started wanting to get into jiu-jitsu. I mean, there's no reason Catch Wrestling couldn't have been that big in the 90s and before. He then contrasted today's Instagram-savvy athletes with a previous generation that scorned vanity and placed value on martial authenticity. Well, nobody remembers those guys. It's they won all the world championships, but nobody remembers them. People don't remember Hoffa Mendes. People don't remember Marcelo Garcia. People don't remember, Dean Lister. People didn't, Dean Lister got upset because people didn't recognize him at some tournament. People don't remember. People got a short memory, so that's why we have to keep posting on social media. That's why I'm doing these live streams. We got to keep making content. That's the name of the game now. Craig Jones got to keep doing weird stuff. He got to get arrested, fake arrested. He got to kiss Gabby Garcia. You think Craig Jones wants to kiss Gabby Garcia? No, he's got to kiss Gabby Garcia. He's got to kiss Gabby Garcia. Oh, man. You guys come here for the comedy. Hopefully. The sound cut off? That's good. The sound cut off. Did it cut off for real? Or just then? Maybe I needed the sound to cut off right there. Maybe, is the stream still up? Is the stream still up? Okay, we still up. I'm glad you guys didn't hear what I said. Sometimes you don't need to hear what I said, guys. Oh, is you're in? Okay. If you took a camera to a tournament, it was embarrassing. It was shameful. People owned you. They would rip you apart. Your own teammates would reprimand you because they would go, What are you, a fighter or a model? Put that camera away. That's pretty funny because RIP to Mr. Jim. We had one of the dads, one of my friend's dad, he would film our matches for us. This is before Flow Grappling. This is during the Nelson remembers Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, he He had this old camera, bro. I guess he was filming on VHS or something, or whatever, the little micro VHS, and then he would burn it to a DVD for us. Because before Flow Grappling, we couldn't watch our matches, guys. We couldn't watch our matches. There was no database. Someone had to film your match, or else you couldn't. Nobody recorded it. They only recorded black belts, and then world championships or pans or whatever. They film the black belts. Nelly know Mr. Jim. So they would only film the black belt matches. I think they would only film the medal rounds, so quarterfinals and up. And then you had to wait for the DVD to be released later in the year. So you might not watch the World Championship till the next year until you got it on DVD. So Drysdale, he talking about in Brazil back in before 2007 when it moved to America. But man, we couldn't so many good matches nobody recorded. It says to Drysdale, the problem lies in incentivizing hype over substance. That's the name of the game now, man. People don't care about substance no more. I feel like the content now is very consumable. It's very quick. It's like junk food. You watch the video. I post the video. You guys, oh, cool. That was awesome. You scroll through. You're going to forget the technique. And there's no impact. So that's just how people consume content now. This is longer form. But what really pops off usually is the short form. The short form, Craig Jones does something crazy. Somebody else does something crazy that pops off, but then people forget about it. But I do like the long form. I get to interact with you guys. You guys comment. I'm like responding to it. So I do like that. He said, "There's a reason why McGregor sells more tickets than Khabib or whoever else, because your grandma understands him. Because it's drama, it's soap opera." That is true. Well, that's marketing nowadays. That's the viral marketing. Outrage. That's the rage bait. That's just a marketing tool nowadays. That doesn't suit everybody. That's okay. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't suggest everybody try to become Conor McGregor or try to become Craig Jones. Don't do that. Do whatever you're comfortable with. If you say you're not good on video, you can write. You can't write, do vlogs. You can't do vlogs, do instructionals. You can't do instructionals, do breakdowns. You can't do breakdowns. There's whatever you want to do, you guys can do. Jason says Craig is trying to attract more eyes. CJI is not for everybody. Just like gi jiu-jitsu isn't for everybody. It's WWE style, and no one watches WWE. It's fake, right? There's still going to be fans. To be honest, their heyday was the 90s. I did an interview with Mr. Diamond Dallas. He was saying, man, they made so much money. He thought he missed the wave in the 80s with Hulk Hogan and, those guys back in the 80s. And then he said, shoot, the 90s, the late 90s. I think he said 96, 97, 98, 99. He was like, bro, they were killing it. I forget where I'm going with that, but yeah, you just gotta I don't know. There's something. There's a production for everybody. Crazy people, you go watch ADCC. Technical people, you go watch IBJJF Worlds. I don't know who's watching Fight Pass. Nobody knew Fight Pass was going on. Yeah, nobody knew Fight Pass was going on, so that was bad marketing. They should have put me as the marketing guy. So we did read this earlier. Craig Jones saying morbid. Oh, I don't know who that is. Craig Jones was saying that this isn't another event. It's a resistance. If we let them take over, the whole sport will turn into a monopoly. Who's he talking about? Who's taking over the sport? Craig, you taking over the sport. A good old-fashioned blitz, Craig. Jason says WWE is a $1 billion company today. That's true. That is true. That is true. We can't deny that. We can't deny that they make money. And they've made a lot of millionaires out of those wrestlers. But those wrestlers, they sacrifice their life for that money. They jumping off stuff. Back gets broken, leg gets broken, neck broken. Them wrestlers deserve all the money they get. People, yeah, I mean, Craig Jones could build. I don't know if CJI will get to $1 billion, but it can get to tens of millions, right? So yeah, I can't complain too much. I think there's better ways to go about it, but that does work. WWE. I mean, UFC's $1 billion company too. I mean, they're terrible. I guess money. I mean, that is one measure of success, but that doesn't mean you doing the right stuff. UFC making all their money before they get sued. They got the CTE, they got the underpaid. They done enough stuff. Danny Choppa says people complain about Jake Paul, but talk about him. That's true. That is true. Dylan Dennis too. They got more followers than everybody. I dislike him, but never look at any of his content if I can help it. But of him. Unfortunately, hate works in this world. Hate and drama. People are more conditioned to, look at the worst in humanity. Basically, you got some good people out here. They struggling, but the people that are the most hateful, they cause the most drama, talk the most crap. They got all the followers. They get all the attention. The bad kids get all the attention. Isn't that true? That's always been true. People just need to stop giving the attention if they really dislike these people. But unfortunately, they have a crowd that supports it. Again, that goes back to what's easy to consume. It's easy to consume. It's easy to go, I hate that guy. I don't like him. But you're still giving that person energy, I mean, I'm doing it too. I cover a little bit of Craig Jones. I mean, it's kind of impossible to avoid Craig Jones in this sport. I can't avoid him. I can't avoid him in this sport. I can't avoid Gordon Ryan. I can't avoid these guys. It's just they're too ingrained in the sport. Craig is talking about Fight Pass with their exclusive contracts. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, Fight Pass shooting himself in the foot. Craig Jones ain't got to do nothing to Fight Pass. Fight Pass fight themselves. Fight Pass fight themselves. That's a good one too. Fight Pass over here, they ain't marketing nothing. They nobody knew who was fighting. We didn't know what day it was on. They put it on the same week as the biggest, not the biggest, but the most prestigious gi tournament. They put it on the day where people training. The people that should be watching are training. So yeah, you ain't got to do nothing to worry about Fight Pass. Fight Pass gonna mess up everything themselves. Someone says I hate that the IBJJF makes you register yourself as a black belt. It's expensive, and apparently if you don't, it means people you promote won't be able to compete at their belt in IBJJF tournaments. Which reminds me, I need to sign up. If I'm misunderstanding that way it works, please clarify for me. You also have to register your own belt with the IBJJF and pay to renew it every year because it's so expensive to maintain. Like 2 data points, yeah, about you that the $140 registration for a tournament just can't cover. And of course, they don't offer insurance or any of the benefits that basically every other amateur sport does. Yeah, sign up for USA Grappling, guys. Get some insurance. I haven't competed in IBJJF since they started implementing the yearly registration for all belts. Yeah, it sucks. IBJJF, it's not just UFC Fight Pass, it's everybody. Danny Choppa says Fight Pass has always been terrible. That's why they are using jiu-jitsu for it, to use it for something, yeah. I mean, they messing that up. How you can't they messing it up, man. I ain't got no love for Fight Pass because I can't cover none of their tournaments. They're gonna hit me with a copyright strike. It says IBJJF is borderline extortion scheme. If they were just charging for tournaments, it would be fine. But they have no business trying to be custodians of what ranks everyone is allowed to be. If such a thing would be controlled by any group, it would be to not. It would have to be a not-for-profit, which IBJJF is not. It is a for-profit company. Seriously, it also messes up schools in areas that aren't super developed in terms of BJJ academies. It says just getting certified is $500 plus another $100 for the online course you have to take about competition rules. I think that's correct, but not completely sure. What pisses me off is that you always have to be under the thumb of someone else to teach and promote people. Like, you can't just get your black belt and be done. In order to give your students black belts, you have to be a higher Dan black belt, which you can't do unless you're getting it from an even higher Dan black belt, higher ranked black belt, who is also certified under IBJJF. Carlos Gracie Jr. just basically followed every other MLM, multi-level marketing business model out there. Real estate agents do the same thing. That's why those bozos blacklist any listings, corporate SF, I don't know what FSBO means. FSBO listings, you guys know what that means? Corroborate to price fix listings, etc. Hopefully the NRA, the realtor one, not the gun one, gets sued into oblivion. I don't know what that means. I'm not a real estate person. You don't need a certificate. You can just register normally as black belt and do everything. Apparently, certification is required for promoting students. I hate this stuff. This kind of deals with me because I have to deal with it all the time. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that sucks. People coming after IBJF. They ain't a real federation. Jason Whitfield says it's amazing how quickly things change. Last Fionn was all about CGI. Now she is all about Fight Pass. Is she? Oh, did they sign exclusive contracts? Her and Adele. Again, fighters, they short-sighted. Short-sighted. That money looks good, 2K, 5K, 10K, 100K possibly. I don't know how much they get. That looks good. But then CGI does the tournament for $1 million that you stuck in your contract over there at Fight Pass or whoever else. You cooked. We got another post that says Jim turned McDojo. Owner salty, everyone left. Yeah, this happened in real time over here, guys. It says Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does not cure character, it intensifies it. If you are a good person, you will become better. You will become better. If you are a bad person, you will become worse. But what it does is this. The shy person loosens up, the arrogant lowers their head, the introspective looks into the eyes, and the overbearing learns to respect. Because on the mat, no one is better than anyone else. Neither your money, nor your status, nor your appearance matter. Only what you do with the teachings you've learned matters. But beware, the mat teaches but does not save. Someone with bad character outside the kimono will continue to be so. Jiu-Jitsu is not a miracle, it is a mirror. And those who can not face themselves will never remain on this sacred ground. I don't know what that means, but yeah, some of that stuff seemed kind of true. All right, I got Big Rob coming through. So Jim turned McDojo. So BJJ doesn't change who you are, but what it does do change who you are. Schrodinger's martial art. Yeah, I mean, people, nobody's really saying what I want to say, what I want to. People usually McDojo, gyms usually turn to McDojo when they want to make more money. I see that. Usually the owners get older. Usually the owners that get older, they turn to the McDojo, to be honest. They want to retire or they want to make more money. They go from competition focused to, let's put a uniform. Let's follow a curriculum. Let's do self-defense. When I hear, hey, let's focus on self-defense only, I know something's about to happen. I've seen this a lot, man. It just happens, bro. And then the school kind of loses its soul, The essence of jiu-jitsu has always been about proving yourself, through training. That's what made jiu-jitsu different than the other martial arts, just that heavy emphasis on getting a lot of training, very similar to wrestling. You're going to train a lot, it's effective. This can work in a fight. That's the whole marketing that the jiu-jitsu had, especially going on with the UFC. You know, this is going to be effective. It can allow someone smaller to fight someone bigger. But now we're getting to the point where, you know, it's lost that, you know. It's all about getting more students on the mat. It's all about, you know, that's basically it. It's all about getting white belts. You want white belts. I mean, every school wants white belts, but when your school is like all white belts, there's no higher belts, nobody sticks around, you know, or the higher belts suck. That's embarrassing to me when, you know, the higher belts are, you know, they can't roll, they gas out. All they do is close guard. They can't pass. You know, that ain't good, man. Says a combination of likely not having accomplished much outside the sport, midlife crisis, and BJJ being more accessible than other martial arts at this age range, and validation from others. Here's what is taught about B2B sales of BJJ. Speaking of mirrors, yeah, I don't really like what these posts are saying, but yeah, it's kind of sad when you're gonna see more McDojos, man. You're not gonna have any more inverted gear academies or maxes, or, you know, those old school academies are kind of dying out. You know, it's so rare to have schools where people are tough. You know, people want to be on the mats. You're rolling hard, training hard, trying to learn, and, you know, you go to these McDojo schools and, like, it's all white belts. Nobody's good. You know, they don't compete. They you know, the schools that don't compete, I understand competition is not for everybody, but when your school doesn't compete, there's no one to stay up to date. You know, when you compete, you're seeing what's working, what's being developed. You're seeing what the community's like. You're part of the community when you compete. Even if you hate the jiu-jitsu community, you still got to go up to the tournament. You're gonna see, oh, that's so and so. Oh, that's the coach over there. Oh, that's the dude that did that. Oh, he won that tournament. You're inside the community. But I see this with the schools that become more McDojos. I'm not saying all competition schools are good, but the schools that become McDojos, they become kind of sectioned off. They don't really interact with other schools. You know, nobody's dropping in. Who's dropping in at the McDojo school? Nobody doing that. You know, nobody's really cross-training. The students at the McDojo, you know, you can't have a McDojo if you let your students do open mats at other gyms. So the coach is going to be more, you know, they're going to have more control over where the people, you know, if the people can do open mats or if they can train at other gyms in the area. And then the techniques are like antiquated. They using like 2000 jiu-jitsu, 1990s jiu-jitsu, 1980s jiu-jitsu. So it's like a time warp. It's like, bro, what do you got? You guys still doing that crap from a long time ago that stopped working? They still doing the Gracie guard pass where you put yourself in a triangle. So yeah, you know, I'm not saying your school can't make money, you know, but you can still have a good school. Look at AOJ. AOJ, I mean, a little cultish, but, you know, they got a ton of people. They got white belts, they got kids, they got everything popping. You know, they do well at tournaments, but, you know, they also have structured classes. There's no reason you can't have what AOJ has, guys. I'm not saying you're Hoffa Mendez or Guy Mendez, but you can have something similar. McDojo schools, I typically see them as not being as good. You know, no, usually the students aren't good. They don't train hard. Basically, that's what I've seen. It says a lot of martial arts teachers go into the philosophical, deep meaning stuff until you discover that they do it to compensate for their internal issues. That might be it. I've been ranting a lot today. You guys like when I rant? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, is Gracie Baja a McDojo? Nelson says they're a little cultish. Yeah, just a little cultish. Everybody wears black. You missed it, Nelson. We were looking at AOJ. Someone asked, a lot of schools don't put the pricing up. I'm not saying you have to put the pricing up on your school. AOJ can do that because they AOJ. They can do whatever they want. But if you go on their website, you can see their pricing. You can see which academy, Costa Mesa or Mission Vio. You can go adult program or kids program. You can see the annual, unlimited, and you can see the monthly price there. So they can do that. Cancel anytime. They can do that. I'm not saying everybody else can do that, but they can do that. So we did look at some other schools. I think we looked in the Jersey area too. Did we look at Jersey? Yeah, we were looking at Jersey. So we were talking about a few schools. Mostly like pricing, and stuff like that. So AOJ can charge those prices. They can charge $315 month to month. They can do that. Pricing you up gets less calls, sadly, lowers your sign up. So yeah. You guys got any questions? Ask Nelson, guys. He can tell you about the ins and out of running a martial arts school. But yeah, you're gonna get less people contacting you. I mean, usually people contact you about the price. They ain't gonna sign up anyway. If someone's like, "Hey, how much does it cost?" and they trying to haggle with you, you just tell them to go on. Hey man, listen, this ain't the school for you. Go to Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. We did look at some pricing. Yeah, unfortunately, people, they want to know the price, but usually I always say, go try the class. Go see if you like it. Go see if you like it. See how it works out. Yeah. Because they won't know. Like, if I go over here, what's the difference between all these schools? I don't know. I can't see anything. First off, the first thing you look at is location. What schools are closest to you? Okay, then you go, who's the coaches? I think we looked at Bodega or something. Let's go to B team. Let's look at B team. That's not too far from me. Do they have a website? Some schools ain't got a website. I'm speaking from experience. Some schools ain't got a website. Okay, I see Damien right there. Okay, I can get started. Okay, boom. I can request information. Oh, what's the schedule? Oh, they got a lot of schedule. Oh, they got a big class. Okay, cool. Can I contact them? They got an offer? Okay, they got the address right there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna request information. I'll call them. I'll text them. I'll hit them up on social media. Are there any reviews? Yeah, check out the reviews. Things are different. Back in the day, people didn't have no website back in the day. Early 2000s, 90s, you ain't had no website. So, okay, maybe you had to call and ask for the information. Now you can search up everything about these schools. I can go look up Inverted Gear Academy. Okay, Inverted Gear, is that the gi company? Oh, they got gis. Oh, that's the instructor, that's the husband, that's the wife. Cool. I mean, you got to sell your program before the person even contacts you. They've already decided if they want to jump in your school or not. And we said that we were kind of making fun of AOJ a little bit. We kind of made fun of AOJ, but how did we get there? It won't let me click on it. But yeah, you walk into AOJ, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to spend some money. So like you walk into AOJ, oh shoot, you walk in, they got marble on the floor. They got marble on the floor. Oh, I gotta spend some money. You walk in AOJ, They got the marble. They got the fancy CEO table and boardroom in the gym. Oh, all right. I got to spend some money. So not only do you need good instruction, you need your Nelson, your Hillary. You need a good facility. They got lighting under the locker room. I'm gonna have to spend some money. So I think also, you can't have Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu charging like $200. No water fountain. No water fountain, Nelson. We ain't got no shower. All right, we can't charge 200, guys. I'm sorry. AOJ, they can charge that. And instruction will go a long ways. Instruction can go a long ways. But you got to be smart in the pricing. I forget why we were talking about pricing, but Danny Choppa says, them Cali gyms, I tell you. Well, California, it's a little bit expensive out there. Jersey, expensive. PA can be a little expensive, I'm sure. I forget what we were talking about, but McDojos, yeah, I don't even know why we brought this up earlier, but we were talking about it. Bring a bottle. Yeah, you got to bring a bottle. Gotta refill that bottle up in the sink. Yeah, but Nelson can charge. He can charge a good price because got black belt instructors, a lot of assistants, a lot of other coaches, good facilities. He can charge more than Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu. Oh yeah, we were talking about the pricing, having the prices. And yeah, I mean, most jiu-jitsu schools don't have the prices up, so that's just the standard in this industry. That's just how it goes. And you guys, Nelson said it there. You guys can see it. If he posts the numbers, if he posts the prices, people don't call. So, do you guys want him to post the pricing and then have less business? No. So okay. And that just makes people go and try the class, or it makes them contact him. So I'm all for that. So we did get the spoiler. We had Fionn versus Adele. You guys saw that. I think we had it up earlier. I can't show Fight Pass, but I believe Fionn. I believe she took the win, right? I can't find it anymore. It was somewhere. Yeah, I believe Fionn took the win. I can't find it anymore. We had it up somewhere. I can't show any of those matches. There was some debate. We read over the rules. So rule number 1, submissions. 2 was initiation of action, and then 3 was pace. Someone says, I'm a fan of Fionn, but I think Adele should have won. You could really tell by the look on their faces at the end before the decision was announced that both of them knew who had performed better. Great sportsmanship from both players, though. Wish we had more athletes with that kind of attitude. I completely agree. My first thought was, how are the commentators saying this was close? The only person who gets close to finishing was Fornerino. Guys, there's 3 rounds. Okay, say Adele got 1 submission, close submission attempt. That means she won 1 round. That means she lost the other rounds. What was the disrespect drama? For who? Disrespect? I don't remember. Was someone disrespecting? I think Fionn said something. It might pop up. I think she was, there's some drama of her and Craig Jones. Something about Craig was kind of pressured into doing the 100K for the ladies. I mean, Craig's human. My issue is, Fionn, did you raise $100,000 for female jiu-jitsu? I didn't raise $100,000 for female jiu-jitsu, so I can't say too much. Craig Jones, however, did raise $100,000 for female jiu-jitsu. So, even if he was pressured into it, Adele's corner. Oh, Adele was talking on. Well, Adele, she lost the last. She actually got tapped the last match they had at ADCC 2022. I think we saw a highlight of that. I'm not sure why they were talking trash. I I'm not sure. I missed the matches. Thanks to Fight Pass putting the match on Thursday night when I'm training, and who's watching matches on Thursday night? I didn't hear about them talking trash. Let's see. They might bring it up over here. I wonder if they both have a UFC contract or if it's just Fionn. UFC is shady, and it wouldn't surprise me that they would be in favor of their fighter. Well, if they're both fighting on Fight Pass, I think they both got a contract. I think if you want to fight on Fight Pass, you need the contract. Classy response from Fionn. I don't want to win this way. I want a rematch. So interesting how different events think of guard. When Misa fought Daniel Kelly and Kelly couldn't pass the guard, Misa won. Very good point. And Adele was also being quite active in her guard play. The chicken coop grind. Let's see. Danny Chopper says, I mean, pressure is how you get what you demand. Hoping there is more to it than just being upset over that. I don't know. I don't know why she's upset. The chicken coop grind. Yeah. This is very good. Very good point. Adele also being quite active in her guard play. It's the old age. It's the old adage or old age. It's the age old. Is the person threatening guard pass winning or the person retaining guard winning? Adele had more submission attempts, but they were just attempts. Fionn was on pressure the whole time. Close fight, keen on the rematch. Just for context, here's the criteria. We talked about this. Initiating of bout ending techniques. Going for submissions is number 1. Initiation of action and duration of control. I think what people don't understand is there were 3 rounds that I understood. Was it 3 3-minute rounds? 3 5-minute rounds? I think it was 3 5-minute rounds. Each round they get a score. Once you start the next round, you're looking at that round. You're not supposed to, I don't think you're supposed to take into account the other rounds. So while Adele might have won 1 round because of that submission attempt, Fionn won because she initiated action and she was pushing the pace. I don't know what the issue is. I'm not sure why Adele's corner would be upset. I mean, when you're in the corner, you got to be fighting for your athlete. Even if they're losing, you got to still be fighting for your athlete. I understand that. I think that's the best answer. There was no clear winner and just makes it apparent that 2 of the best ladies are extremely close in skill. A rematch will be good for both of them. And, Fionn, she's moving on to, she's got a new school. I think we showed that. She's got a new school, Arma BJJ over here. She got a new school. She living in the UK. She's a little bit older. I'm not saying she's old. She's younger than me, but she's older than Adele, who's, training at Autos. So, Fionn's busy. She got a new school that's supposed to be coming out. That looks really nice, actually. I'll keep you guys updated. We're going to see when it comes out. They're still under construction. So Fionn, she's busy. She's waiting for the new school to come up, and then she's competing, and she got her life going on. Adele over there at Autos hanging out, eating acai and playing soccer and training hard. So they're in different parts of their lives. Is that the same thing? Was that the McDojo one? Yeah, so we don't know. Oh, here you go, Nelson. Oh, no, this is something else. I think Fionn is exclusively with the UFC. He hinted at it in the last On the Borrowed Time. Oh, so there may be some drama with that if Fionn has a UFC, exclusive UFC contract. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, UFC is a terrible company. But more power to him or her. Oh, Mikey. He was talking about Mikey. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Fionn has an exclusive contract. He said something along the lines of, don't push for women's rights in the sport while signing a contract that limits the exposure women have in the sport. Who said that? It says CJI was the first iteration. You want to make it as simple as possible since they're dealing with so many variables already. CGI featured a women's super match, and also remember the first man and woman super fight too. So you had Gabby Garcia versus Craig Jones, and then you had Mackenzie Dern versus Fionn. So I'm not sure why she was going after him. I'm out the loop on that one. I didn't see people begging for it, to be honest. I think he decided to do it and then saw certain athletes who he had paid the biggest purse for a women's match ever last year now couldn't compete in it due to an exclusive contract with Fight Pass. People were definitely pressuring Craig to add a women's division. That's the issue when you... So Craig, he's kind of in this... it's like a symbiotic relationship. So he, everybody kind of follows Craig, but Craig also has to follow what people are wanting. He's got to follow the trends. He's got to see what's cool. He's got to see who's popping. He's kind of like, he reminds me of Drake. You guys know Drake, the rapper? He to stay on top, he's got to keep molding his personality, his style, his flow, his rapping to whatever is trending. But that can be kind of inauthentic, which is kind of the issue with Drake now. Jason says, I've been a part of and ran multiple schools. There are so many factors to having a successful school. One is your ad budget. To be competitive in my area, you have to spend at least $2,000. Wow. I know schools, they ain't spending no money. They posting on Facebook. Like that's gonna they posting on Facebook. Ain't running no ads, no Google. I mean, you can do like the Gen Z marketing, kind of like what Craig does, the viral marketing. That's one way to market your school. Most schools, you need to be on Google. You need to pop up first when people search Google. You need where's the other thing at? Did I close my shoot? Where'd my tab go? We were looking at B Team a little bit earlier. Yeah, you need to show up on Google. You need to have some Google reviews. You need to have your location up on Google Maps. If your school ain't up on Google, you ain't got no website. You ain't got no lead generation. Are you even trying to be successful? I'm talking a little personal too. If you know me, I'm talking a little personal out here too. I can't find your school on Google. I assure you, if I go over here, I can find Inverted Gear. Where are you at, Inverted Gear? I don't see Inverted Gear. Inverted Gear. Where's Inverted Gear at? Oh, that ain't the right place. I'm in the wrong part of Pennsylvania. We still in New Jersey. Here we go. Let's go over here. Where's Allentown at? I'm looking for Inverted Gear. Inverted Gear, where are you? Nelly, where you at, Nelly? Let me look for Nelly should be somewhere over here. Nelly, where you at, Nelly? I'm looking for Nelson. Where you at, Nelson? To the left? More to the left? Allentown, but I know where Allentown is. I'm looking for it though. I see it. Where you see it, Nelson? South, more south. You guys know I don't know where Allentown is. I'm looking right there, right here. Zoom in. I'm zooming in, Nelson. I'm zooming in, Nelson. Middle, more to the middle. I see Tim Planet. Padilla. Where you at, Nelson? I'm looking for you, Nelson. Off Zoom. Nelson, I'm looking for you, Nelson. I see Zombie. Nelson, I see Zombie, Nelson. I'm zooming in, Nelson. Okay, Allentown right there. Okay. I see Allentown. Where you at, Nelly? Up. going up, Nelly. I see Elite MMA. More up. 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 I'm going, Nelson. I'm looking, Nelson. Let me just type in inverted gear. I'm just going to type it in. Inverted gear. All right, there we go. I had to cheat, guys. I had to cheat. There you go, inverted gear. I don't know why it didn't come up earlier. But yeah, well, at least Nelson's on there. See, you can see. Oh, all right. You got the website. I had to cheat. I'm on it. My face is on it. Yeah, so they got reviews. Look at Nelson. You got 5.0 reviews. Did I leave you a review, Nelson? I'll make you one, man. I thought I did. There you go. Got the reviews, got the pictures. Hey, me and my cousin Big Rob right there. Got Nelson in the crew. But man, if your school ain't got no pictures, these are good pictures too. You ain't got no pictures. You ain't got no signage. People can't find your location. I mean, you can't complain. Nelson good. You passed, Nelson. Yeah, I'll leave a review. I don't know what we're talking about. We've been going in on schools, guys. It's kind of personal too. Jason says most instructors run their school like a club or hobby and not a business. They think because they are passionate about teaching that people will just show up. I mean, I ain't got no issue with passionate people. It just, you got to do the bare minimum. Have a website, have a location and phone, some contact information, have some lead generator, something to take an email, something to take have something to take an email and take some information. There you go. Call those people. It took us a while to get there, to get Nelson. We got Nelson on there though, guys. I mean, I'm not even asking for schools to put their pricing up there. Just have a way for people to contact you, or have some social media. If I go to Instagram, I can find inverted gear. I type in inverted gear. I can find inverted gear. I can find inverted gear easily. Inverted Gear Academy. Cool. I can see the location. I can see who the instructors are. I mean, there's no reason to not be successful in the marketing anymore. You don't even need a website. I'll be honest. You don't even need a website. Just have some social media. How much that costs you guys to make an Instagram page, post some pictures of your classes? That don't take nothing. You just gotta be consistent. You can post your schedule on there. You could do everything through Instagram nowadays. Literally, you do everything through Instagram or Facebook. You don't need a website. I suggest you have a website for your schools, but you don't even need a website anymore. All right, guys, make sure you get some panda gear. See, Nelson, I be marketing. I be telling them, all right, get that panda gear, guys. I'm just going in on schools, man, because they do everything but put that social media up and get that website. They be trying to put a uniform policy. Nelson, how you feel about uniform policies? I mean, obviously you gotta wear inverted gear in Panda Nation. You better have that inverted gear panda on there. Nelson, look at Nelson. Got the website up. Nelson, we need you to help some of our friends out, Nelson. Nelson got the pricing up. There you go. I know I could. Nelson, you and Kevon got the same website. You and Kevon man, we need your help, Nelson. Help some of your friends out, man. Got the instructors, see the community. It's 2025, man. If your school ain't, if I can't find your school on Nelson Nelly, come on, Nelly. Okay, wear whatever you want. Yeah, it's just, as long as it's got a panda on it, you good. But man, some of these schools trying to put some uniforms, bro. Yeah, you need to make, man, but they're trying to make us wear some uniforms where you like, bro, I wouldn't pay $20 for that gi. Yeah, people. That's true. People, if you got good gear, inverted gear has good gis, they're gonna wear the gi. They got good no gi stuff, they're gonna wear the no gi stuff. Now, if you got Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu, I don't want to wear Joe Schmo Jiu Jitsu on my gi. We talked about Gracie Baja the other day. They have a uniform policy. But you go to Gracie Baja, you gotta wear the you gotta wear the uniform. I'm saying for schools that make a uniform policy, I mean, even in Gracie Baja, like I don't really want to wear a Gracie Baja. I don't want to wear a full on Gracie Baja uniform. That kind of sucks. Also, guys, I came from a school with a uniform. And it's just terrible. All right. So you start martial arts. You gotta wear this. You gotta wear this gi with all the gym branding on it. What happens if you get kicked out of the school? You got this gi with Gracie Baja all over the place. You can't take some of those patches off. You see this embroidered stuff right there? You can't take that off. You can't take this off either. So say you get kicked out of Gracie Baja, you stuck with this gi you can't wear no more. This gi costs $225. So when you start a uniform policy and I gotta wear a gi, I gotta wear a uniform I don't want, I don't like, and it costs me $200. I'm upset. I'm gonna be upset. And your students should be upset if they gotta wear this uniform they don't want to wear. And this ain't the worst gi. Jason says, leads are the lifeblood of new school in the beginning. Most people barely have the capital to buy mats and first month's rent. Now they need an ad budget. It's harder than you are making it out to be. No, I'm not, Jason. It's different. It's different. I'm saying Instagram is free, but I'm not saying you just post once on Instagram. You're gonna have to do some work on Instagram. I mean, clearly you should have your Facebook, Facebook going. You need Facebook going. I mean, Nelly know more about all these ads. You need your Facebook. You need your Facebook ads going. You need your Google ads going. You need to be hitting everywhere. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying you can get started for free on Instagram. I mean, your phone and the internet not free, but if you just start on Instagram, you get your page. You post a lot. You post your classes, you post your schedule, you post everything. It's not gonna be easy, but you can get some traction like this. You can get some traction, you can get leads right from the post. Hey, sign up here. Put this code in. It gets automated somehow. You can get lead generation from here. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying the barrier to start is never been easier, never been lower. Back in the day before social media, you had to run Google ads. Now I'm saying you got Instagram, you got YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do, you can reach out to people. Yeah, I get amped up about this. What about Turkish oil wrestling pants? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Danny Choppa says, luckily never had to worry about the uniform thing much. One of my first skis was from Dragon Ball. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you got the freedom to wear that. I had to wear a uniform. As a black belt, I had to wear a uniform. I'm like, man, this sucks. And then because you have to wear a uniform, you start. I mean, I stopped buying less. I started buying less skis. Couldn't afford the skis anyway. I started wearing like hand-me-down gis, and gis the gi have rip in it. I'll be wearing it longer, so I just used those gis even longer than the life of the gi. Unfortunately, so the school started looking more raggedy because nobody wanted to pay for the gi. So you wearing the oldest model that was still allowed. I got rid of all my uniform gis. Got rid of all my Alliance gis, guys. I had a whole stack of them. I was like, I couldn't wait to put on some other gis, some inverted gear gis. Yeah, I mean, I understand you want your school to look good, but even AOJ and Atos, they don't have a uniform policy per se. You just have to wear white gis. Isn't that better? Why, just have a uniform policy, or that, to me, that's a little bit more manageable. All right, guys, you got to wear your Dragon Ball Z gis from now on. I don't know. That probably would never fly. We were talking about Fionn. Says Fionn wanted a women's division in CJI, but it seemed like that was not possible due to lack of funding. Fionn probably feels more valued by UFC as they also gave her the main event spot. She also did an interview where she basically said she was done begging for her place. That begging is called marketing, Fionn. Didn't you learn anything from Craig Jones? I think if she had stayed with Craig Jones, he would have got to a point where he could make a solid women's division. You got to remember, this is the second event, so it takes time to build. And he's got a lot of people to please. He's got Daddy Zuckerberg. He's got whoever else he's funding everything. He's got people, people giving him money. He's got he's got people giving him money, and I don't know who he's got to make happy. I don't know who's the investors. I don't know who's behind the scenes. I don't know what kind of back deals he's got to deal with. He's got a lot. He's doing too much. The marketing. I guess he's still training. I hope he's still training. He's still training a little bit. He's over here. Fionn upset at him. Jason says Instagram is free, but to get it out to a large number of people in the right demographic, you have to pay at least $30 a day minimum, and now you're at $1,000. I mean, again, Jason, you can pay. I mean, I don't pay for any Instagram stuff. But I'm not trying to get leads, right? But say you don't have the $30, you don't have $1,000. You're just gonna have to post more. You're gonna have to post a ton. That's just the way it is. Like, I don't post that much on my Instagram, but the reach, I have a decent reach. Now, if you want to target that for a specific area, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay a little bit for Instagram targeting. But that's again, it's different if you have someone famous. All right, I'm not saying I'm famous, but if you have someone that has a name, they built that social media following, which is kind of social influence and marketing. They're able to have like a large reach. Now, will that reach hit your area? I can't say so. But I think you're underestimating the reach of the social media. I understand what you're saying, especially for business, you're targeting your demographic. I used to run a couple ads too. Your demographic, your age, your the hobbies, the interests, what people are interested in, that helps a ton. But I'm saying if you have no money, you can still generate leads. You can still generate leads. I believe you can still generate leads without putting in the money. Now, putting in the money can help. It does help. But I'm saying if you just posted a lot on Instagram, you posted a lot on Facebook, you posted a lot on wherever you are, I think you could generate leads. Now, it won't be as targeted. Nelson, back me up, bro. You have business. I mean, you can I do social media for a living. You can fight me on this. But obviously, you got a big budget. It's going to work. Does Craig Jones buy ads? B Team the gym might buy ads, but does Craig Jones buy ads? No. It's all viral marketing. Now, I'm not saying I'm not Craig Jones, but if he's just posting, he's brilliant. He's a great marketer. He's posting and he knows how to get that going. He can generate a lot of leads. Does CJI run ads? Does CJI run ads? No. They don't run ads. B Team might run ads. And if you ever watch their YouTube channel, you know they do merch. How does B Team sell their merch? They do a little ads on the merch. But how does B Team sell their merch? They use influencer marketing. They do more grassroots marketing. You know, they make the dudes, they make J-Rod, or not J-Rod, they make Nicky Rod. They make Nicky Rod do he has to do the little commercial in the video. People see them wearing the gear. They see Craig Jones wearing the OnlyFans rash card. They see Craig Jones wearing whatever. Did he run ads to sell that merchandise? All right. Now, I'm not saying we're not Craig Jones. We don't have that pull. We don't have that push. But I'm saying if you start a new program, you're a small program, get yourself on Google, that's free. Get your website, get your URL. That's going to cost a little bit of money. Get yourself on get on all the platforms. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Reddit. Get yourself on all the platforms. Get your website. On your website, you have a lead generation, email, phone, whatever, maybe an offer, information about you. You do what Nelson did. You get Nelson's website. I don't know where you got a good website. I need a website like that too, Nelson. Nelson, let me know about that website. You get your website going, collect information, and I'm saying if I should run this experiment. let me run your program's marketing. I'll spend no money. I'll spend no money on ads. I think if I get the social media going, I have a website that can get leads. I assure you, I could generate leads. I can get signups, emails, and whatever else. I assure you, I could do that. Now, will it be targeted? I'm not saying it'll be targeted like you paying. Well, that's how these programs make money, because you're targeting. But I'm saying I could generate leads, potential leads that might turn into signups. And I wouldn't spend that much money. I wouldn't spend any money on ads. I might spend money on, my camera or something, maybe, possibly. Or just use the phone. I'll use this thing right here. I think I could generate. I'm not saying I would generate that many leads, but I think I could generate some leads if I just constantly pushed, if I constantly made videos, hey guys, sign up at Inverted Gear, which I need to do. I need to make some more videos. I don't know the actual the workaround of that. I can't monitor. I can see with BJ mental models. I can see every time I do a video for BJ mental models, I can see how many people clicked on the link. I can see how many people signed up. I don't have that for Inverted Gear. Maybe Nelson need to set that up for me. But I think I feel like you're underestimating. I could be wrong, but I feel like you're underestimating how powerful the social media is. Look at Craig Jones. Everything he does is geared towards marketing himself and his products. And I mean, he's a genius. Obviously it takes money to fly all over the place, and you got sugar daddy and all that stuff. But he's not running ads. He's just, I don't know if B Team runs ads. I think they do for their merch, but I think just they have the athletes. They have the, they got Flow Grappling behind them. They get away with so much more than your regular school. Now, your regular schools, unless you have famous instructors, it's going to be hard to do that kind of thing. You're going to have to run more ads. Most instructors aren't personable. They're not on social media. They're not inviting people. Hey guys, come check out our program. They're not posting on social media 8 times a day saying, "Hey, check out our program. Here's the school. Here's this. Here's the technique we're working on." I feel like if you did that, you could try it, Jason Whitfield. Go try it for me. For 1 month, for 1 week, post twice a day, where you're inviting people to check out your program. I think you would generate some good leads. And I don't know the number. I don't know your social media. But I think if you put out 2 videos every day and you're, "Hey guys, this is our program. Be sure to check it out. We're running a special deal this week. This week. You get, I don't know what, you get such and such for free. You get a free gi. You get a free uniform for free. Yay!" I see the power of the social media. I'm not saying it's optimal to do it by itself, but I think you're underestimating what you can do. I'm proof of that. The fact that I can do this stuff, I think it's proof. All right, I've been ranting today, guys. Let me get off here, man. I've been ranting, guys. Yeah, you guys want to support the channel, go check out Inverted Gear. Nelson, you guys still running that deal, Nelson? See, Nelson, I'd be promoting the Inverted Gear. Yeah, check out Inverted Gear, guys. Offer code Alec. I think they're still running some deals. Uh-oh, Nelly, what's going on, Nelly? I guess they're updating the website. We go to Nogi. Yeah, you guys want to support the channel? Go get that BJJ mental models, guys. It looks pretty cool. Oh, it's pre-order though. What's the white looking like? All right, I might need to try that one because I got the one with the hippo on it. I got this one, guys. I got this one, guys. I'm sorry for coming after you, Jason. I just got passionate. I got the hippo one, so that's it, guys. I'm tired. I've been on here for about 3 hours. Might stream tomorrow. We'll see. We got World Championships, guys. World Championships. Shout out to everybody competing. Good luck to those people out there, okay? Nelly. Guys, shout out to Nelson for coming on here. We need to get him on here some more so you guys can push all your business questions to Nelson. Nelly will he'll help you guys out. So we did kind of did we answer the questions today? If you clicked on the thumbnail, we had Fionn on the title page. She won the match versus Adele, but there was some drama. I can't find anything. Did we see the so Adele did win. Fionn won, not Adele. Fionn got it. Jason says, "I appreciate you discussing this. A lot of people need to hear this because they don't want to do the bare minimum." Yeah, I mean, regardless, guys, you should be doing everything in your power to get students in the door. And of course, Jason, I don't know your situation. You might be in a competitive area. You're next to AOJ. Good luck. Good luck. You're next to Gracie University. Good luck. Some people we can't compete against. Even if it was me and whoever else. You're next to B team. Good luck. That's also part of the business. You gotta make sure you're in a good area. Hopefully you're the best option. But if homeboy come through, AOJ, black belt from AOJ comes through, dang it. That's part of the business. So we got Fionn, she came through. They had the same hair color too. Was that the ankle lock? Guys, is that a legit? It's kind of like a, Elizabeth Clay actually showed a move like this recently. Where's my cursor going? Sorry guys, my cursor is kind of flipping around. Elizabeth Clay was showing something similar to this. It's kind of like a modified. It's almost like a Kyotera lock a little bit. I don't think that was close. I didn't see the match, but I'm gonna say that wasn't. You think she's gonna finish her from there? No way. It might hurt a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna finish that. Man, you know what I would like to do, guys? I'd like to get Nelson on here. The owner of Inverted Gear, have him on a live stream. Would you guys like to see that? Would you guys like to see Nelly on here? Yeah, maybe we can do that. Some more results. You have Fionn. She took the win. Is that the? Fionn took the win versus Adele. This girl she beat Canuto's wife, I think. What's that girl's name? Anna Vieta. Is she is that Rodolfo Vieta's sister? I believe so. Yeah, it might be her. Yeah, Tackett won. I can't show the videos, guys. They're gonna get me. Tackett won. Who's this guy? Mason Fowler took home a submission. That girl's cute. What's up, girl? Not in a creepy way. I believe Alex won her match. Kimura armbar. All right, guys. So yeah, good matches, man. Shout out to all the athletes. I only wish that they did a better job. I wish UFC did a better job of marketing this. So again, marketing, that seems to be the name of the game nowadays. The marketing's got to be on point. Daddy, look at Daddy looking swole. 125, but looking swole. All right, guys, I'm gonna dip, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Shoot, where's the big Alec? Guys, I'm gonna try to get Nelly on here. I'm gonna message him, see if I can get him on here. I miss Nelson. Oh, need to order some lunch. Oh, yeah, shoot, for sure. I'm gonna try to order some lunch over here. Jersey. We got to eat in Jersey, bro. We be eating in Jersey. Jason says, bring Nelson on. It would be good to hear some of the struggles opening two businesses. Yeah. So we'll probably do like a live stream / kind of a... Yeah, I'd rather just do a live stream. That's more informal. You guys can ask him questions. And then, you guys can ask him questions and we can talk some crap and we can talk about business. So yeah, we'll do that live stream. I got to go out the Inverted Gear Panda Nation. So yeah, let's do that, man. Nelson. All right, Nelson, we're going to volunteer you to come on the live stream. So guys, get your questions ready. And, maybe we'll do something cool. I would love to do a giveaway or something too. Could we do that, Nelson? Could we give away some gear? A rash guard or something? I'll petition Nelson for that, guys. We'll see if I'll come on maybe Sunday. Saturday I got some training. Maybe Sunday. We'll see. And guys, World Championships, guys, go watch Worlds, and hopefully we can watch some matches when they come up on IBJF or Flow Grappling. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna dip. Nelson's on the channel, so I'm gonna play the Inverted Gear video. Nelson, see, I be marketing. I don't know if it's working though. Is marketing working, guys? Can I start now? So guys, I'm gonna try to get Nelly on here. We'll try to get Nelson on here. Maybe some other people. Everybody be shy, but they don't want to be on the live stream. But we'll see. All right, guys. See you later. Happy Friday. Stay out of trouble. Peace. Hey, shout out to Nelson for jumping on here, guys.